Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 833 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I do want to say good morning to everybody. Say welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I see you on the board already, Phil. Great seeing you, man. It is Cheeseheads week. No two ways about it. We got a lot of things to get into. We're going to try to figure out how to beat Green Bay this week, and we're going to see how everything that played out over the weekend affects the Steelers moving forward. I got to be honest with you. So far, I think we're going to be okay. But again, this is still a long season ahead of us, guys. As we get next week's game, the Sunday night game knocked out against Green Bay, we'll have 10 games left after that. So, I mean, it gives you an idea. There's still a lot of football. I hope we didn't peak early, if you will. And we'll get into why that could be possible, why that's not going to happen. I don't know. We'll go into all the possibilities. Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. The loss is behind me. I'm ready to look forward.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I got it behind me. We got to watch a bunch of other BS football games over the weekend, and I got to be honest, I'm okay. As we, catching a little bit of shit from Cincinnati fans, and at the end of the day, they're still closer to the Browns than they are to the Steelers in the standings. Right. So as long as that may be, then they might as well just shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
I do want to say good morning to Jamal on the board. So what's up, my brothers? He also says Green Bay, it doesn't look too tough, which I agree. I agree with that 100%. Actually, we're going to get into that in a lot more. And he says the Cardinals were whooping them all game. There's something about this Green Bay team. They are missing something. Again, this is the team that did lose to Cleveland earlier in this year, guys. A lot of different things to talk about as we get ready for this game. A lot of people are expecting our downfall to start this weekend with the Green Bay game going into Green Bay, going against Green Bay, then against Indianapolis. I think the Chargers, maybe the Bengals in a month. So, we have our work cut out for us. There's no two ways about it, especially after the way the Bengals game went just last Thursday. Might make the second time around a little bit more interesting. Again, we'll get into all that, guys. We'll get into scores. We'll get into how things went down this weekend. We'll look at divisions. We'll look at playoff spots, all kind of things. But I do want to start off a little bit by saying, Mike, we're going to talk about Derpy for just a second. Did you happen to get those pictures I sent over to you?
I got them. I believe they've been emailed over to me as well. So, of course, they wouldn't be.
Well, I was watching Derpy last night.
Yeah.
I tuned in to watch Derpy. I tuned in to watch Derpy on the Nerd Show, the late show that they do on Sunday nights. And listen, I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of him finally being exposed on the screen. I think it's good for the show. But one thing that I noticed is he's been doing it for about a week and a half now. He does this thing where he has like the background. It's like the Simpsons house. You know, the Simpsons.
Yeah, I got that one queued up.
Okay, so this is, and where I'm going with this is, it looks like Derpy's constantly floating around because the way that he does his green screen, it looks like he doesn't have legs, and the whole time it looks like he's floating around. Like if you could put one of those pictures up just to show people what we're talking about. All right, you can see Derpy floating, and to me, it looks like he's sitting Indian style on that carpet in the Simpsons living room, which looks a little bit like something that I've seen before, and I couldn't put my finger on it, Mike. I said, where does this look familiar to me? You know what it is? Do you have that picture? Do you have those pictures pulled up as well?
Yeah, I'm grabbing that one right now.
So I thought, why does Derpy look like something that I recognize? And I'm looking at it, and I went and I did a quick search, Mike, and this is why here is why Derpy looked familiar to me, is because of Babu. Right here, tell me that picture of Derpy just hovering above that carpet, that rug, that Persian rug, if you will. It doesn't look like Babu from the Genie cartoon, which was before my time. However, I do acknowledge it, and I do acknowledge that Derpy looks a lot like Babu, just hovering. So again, it's never ever a non-dull moment with Derpy's around.
It's not. He's constantly providing new and great material, whether he knows it or not.
Babu. I haven't thought of that Babu in decades, and all of a sudden I see him hovering over that rug, and I was like, where did I see this before? Where did I see this? Jamal says he caught a little bit of Derpy show as well. Let me catch up with some of these messages. Let's get us started. I do want to say good morning. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Two Dumb Yinzers again. This is episode 833. We got Monday Night Football tonight to wrap up the week. In the NFL, guys, we have CBS Pick'ems that we're not going to get into entirely. I can give you a little bit of update on what we have at the moment, but we do have two games to get through tonight. Of course, Tampa Bay at Detroit at 7 o'clock and Houston at Seattle. That's a 10 o'clock game. A 10 o'clock game. A 10 o'clock game. Yes, imagine that.
Ridiculous.
Works well for the people out west, but geez, oh man. We've got a lot of things to get into, Mike. And again, I said we're going to get through all the scores, the divisions, playoff possibilities, or playoff seedings, and all the up to the moment Pittsburgh Steelers scoop, guys. So sit back, relax, and welcome to the show. I do want to get some of these messages underway, though, before we do move further. People are still saying it's Cheeseheads Week. That's right, baby. It is Cheeseheads Week. A lot of things to talk about this Cheeseheads team today. Right here. Jamal says since he was on the ass when they played until the fourth quarter. What's up, Vanilla? Smile, dude. That's what Jamal's saying on the board. He says, "Smile. Look at you."
I am smiling. It's hard to see. My natural expression is a frown.
Oh, I know that.
And so, like when people say, "Oh, smile," it takes less muscles to smile than frown. For me, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
I always have a sour look on my face.
That's such a
Even though I'm smiling on the inside, I am happy, Jamal. Don't worry. Vanilla's good.
Let's see what else we got here. Also, Mark Malone. What's up, Mark? He always stops by, and it's always great to see Mark Malone on this terrible board. He says this: can Tomlin get this top-paid defense to stop performing at the bottom of the league? I mean, no coach has ever done less with more than Tomlin. So it's a legit question. You were right. It is a legit question. And again, it's becoming harder to defend. And I have numbers today to prove this. And we'll get into that as well. Moving forward, over enthusiastic in term. Caleb, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Caleb. Where the hell you been, man? I haven't seen you. Should I say it?
No.
Since the NBA Finals. Again, if we don't see Caleb for another 6 months, I apologize. But I'm acknowledging when the last time we talked to Caleb, of course. over in Indiana. Caleb says he didn't know Homer was an Ohio State fan. Color Hoss, what's up, brother? Always great. I was just thinking about you, Color Hoss. I'm gonna get a hold of you, man. I got some things in my mind. Also, Jen, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Jen also says Packer fans are talking shit big time. I hate Packers fans, which she says, of course, Jen is over in the Wisconsin part of the region of the country. Brother, what's up, my man Tyrone? Hey, Tyrone, do me a big favor, dude. Get back on, get on the CBS Pick'ems and get at least get your last couple picks in.
Yeah,
I got on this morning to keep check out to see where everybody was at least to this point, and I seen that you might have forgot. Maybe get over there, grab a couple of them, dude. At least get a couple wins in for the Monday night games. Everybody's. I gotta be honest with you. What's her face? RB.
Yeah.
RB is really been strong. You know, you just have these weeks where you're just like, screw it, pick this. I don't know if RB does that. Every pick that he makes seems so so calculated.
Mm-hmm.
He's done super well to this point. Again, I'll pull those up in a little bit. Not the final results on the pick'ems. However, after tonight's game, tomorrow we will have clear results, Mike, on the CBS picks of the week. We'll get into all that, so much more tomorrow. You know what? That's all right, Jamal. It happens. Believe me, the only one who really hasn't had that happen so far has been RB. RB has been on a roll. He's been on a tear since we began. It's going to be hard to catch up to him. But you know what? There are some people that are a lot closer than I am, so maybe that's not the case. Yes, for sure, Color Host. Absolutely, brother. I hope all is going well for you and the Bens. Great to hear from you, my man. Over enthusiastic Caleb says, I actually donated my Achilles to Halliburton, so I have one leg right now. Well, we missed you, man. I do want to say that we certainly didn't not bring you up. We missed having you around. Always great having Caleb here.
Yes, it is.
Vegas, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Vegas on the board. He says, what's good, fellas? And Tortilla, my man. Yo. What's up, brother? From way out west out in Cali. Matter of fact, the game is going to be starting right around at 7 o'clock his time, the late Monday night game. So it does work out for Tortilla, Mike. And you know what? As long as it works out for Tortilla, that's fine with me. At least it's not a total loss. And also, Caleb, glad to be back. We're glad to have you back, dude. A lot of things to talk about as we were getting ready to head into this matchup against the Green Bay Packers on the North Shore on Sunday night, a Sunday night football game, guys. It is an 8:20 start. It's a throwback week. The Steelers are going to be wearing their yellow throwback uniforms. The Packers are going to be wearing their throwback uniforms. And I got to be honest with you, I particularly like the helmets, Mike, of the Packers. They're regular helmets, of course, but they have it looks like the old helmets, the old leather helmets. Yeah. And I love that design. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just such an obscure look compared to anything that we have nowadays. I think it's going to look really cool. We do got some fun things lined up for the end of the week. I think these guys are going to like. But as we get into it, the Steelers coming into this home game, they are home dogs, guys. 3.5 point underdogs. 3.5 point underdogs in this game. Like, so if we could pull this off, maybe this will just start. And again, you know what? It comes down to the way the media talks about us is what it always comes down to, because we're worried about what they got to say about us. Do they think we're going to be competitors? Do they think we're going to be, you know,
0-6, buddy.
Yeah. So but here's the thing. We are 4-2. We're not 0-6 like some said that we would be. Tyrone says I got hella confidence watching the Packers. They are very beatable. I agree with you, man. I really do agree with you. Again, all the way back to the Cleveland game. Again, we beat Cleveland. They did not beat Cleveland. Do what you want with that. So I mean, you know, it doesn't take us out of the realm of possibilities, I think, Mike. I think by this happening, of course, you can't go by this team beat this team, if this team beat that team, and that team. You can't go by that. However, you can certainly look at it as an indicator to say, okay, well, this team can certainly beat this team. There's no way that this team shouldn't be on the same field as this team because this team did beat that team. So when you look at it that way, you know, again, like the guys are saying on the board, there's nothing that tells me that we don't not have a chance in this football game on Sunday night, Mike.
The chasm, like the gap between the Steelers and Green Bay, I don't even know if there is one. You know, we're lumped into that category with them, like a team that cannot consistently beat the elite teams in the league right now. Where that's us in Green Bay at this point. And you know, a week ago before the Bengals game, you know, the Steelers defense was the talk of the land, and so one bad performance, all of a sudden we're back to being the one of the worst teams in the league, and we're going to lose every game. You know, I think we can lose this game? Yeah, I think we can lose every game. Do I think we can win this game? Yeah. And I think
wait. You didn't say you didn't say I didn't think we could win every game. What was up with that?
No, there's no way, because it's it happened one time in the league where every team won every game. So.
Well, I didn't think that you meant as far as going.
Yeah, but like going in, like there's games going in. I'm looking like I can't find a way for us to win this game, and this Green Bay game's not one of those games. Like there's ways that they can beat us. There's ways we can beat them. I think this is going to probably be one of the better matchups this week. I think they match up well. Both teams do. It's going to be a fun game. It's a lot to talk about this week with this Packers matchup.
Mark Malone. No, let me go back to John. Big John Stud, middle name Mud. What's up, bro, man? John says the Colts with Taylor looked really good yesterday. The Colts again, guys. You have to say those last 3 years, Mike, that they beat us up there. Of course, we get them up there all the time. It seems they didn't look like a bad team. They were a solid team, and again, we were a middle of the road team that were finding ways to beat teams that were around our caliber. And the fact that the Colts found a way to just beat us over in Indianapolis, Mike, I started to see, what, this isn't a bad team. Maybe they are a quarterback away, as the Steelers seem to be going into the season. So again, I'm impressed with what's going on in Indianapolis. I didn't think that we would be this far in and they would still be sitting with one loss. You know what? Good for them. We'll get them next week. We'll get a true feel of what it is that they are. But as of right now, they look tough. And you're right. I agree, man, with that. With Taylor back there and with Danny Dimes, it's looking like a nice squad.
Yeah, you saw the way they played when Flacco took over for Anthony Richardson for a little bit. That you get Michael Pittman the ball in the air, he's gonna beat you. He's a damn good receiver, one of the most underrated in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor is still an underrated running back in the league. If he's on the Eagles, if he's on the Chiefs, if he's on, I don't know, pick another really good team or on like the Lions, he'd be talked about more and more. Dude, I watched him play at Wisconsin. This dude is a beast. That defense has a lot of really good players scattered about it, and they were. Like we thought the Jets were a quarterback away. And this team they've been building this team for a good 5 years now. And you can see they struck while the iron's hot on Danny Dimes, took a flyer on him to be the backup. And here he is, 6-1.
Mike,
this team is a damn good team.
He's a quarterback away, but then I didn't think that quarterback was going to be Danny Dimes. I did not. Yeah. By any means.
They have a lot of talent around him. And his best year in New York is when they had some really good wide receivers, a good defense, and a really good run game. And that's what Indy has. And he's fitting in perfect. He needs talent.
I don't know if New York ever had all those things, but I get the point.
And for 1 year, they had a really good team. But
I think that was the year they got bounced in the playoffs for the first year. That wasn't that great of a team. Man.
But it was a good team. It was a good team to make it. But this team right here, like, he's able to, or he doesn't have to do everything. Get the ball in your playmaker's hand, limit your mistakes, and you can go. And that's what he's doing up there.
Let's talk about a few things here, Mike. If the playoffs started today, the playoff seeding did shuffle around a little bit through the weekend, of course, starting with the Steelers' loss on Thursday night, guys. This is what your seeding looks like right now in the AFC. If the playoffs started today, the Colts would, in fact, still be the number 1 seed. They would have the bye this weekend. The Patriots now number 2. The Broncos number 3. The Steelers number 4. So those are your 4 division winners. We would all get home games. And the lower seeds are, Mike, the number 5 Bills, the number 6 Chargers, and the number 7 Jacksonville Jaguars. If the playoffs started today, the Steelers would be hosting the Buffalo Bills, which they are going to do later this season. So we are going to get a look at that firsthand, Mike. We are going to get the Chargers. We are going to get the Bills. We are going to get, a lot of these teams. We've already played the Patriots. We get the Colts next week. So we're going to get a good look, Mike, if, what the playoffs may look like come January, a little bit early, because we get a lot of these teams through the rest of the way out. Mike, this is what your NFC seeds look like after this weekend. Again, we still have 2 games tonight, and one of these teams are very much involved in 2 of these teams are very much involved in the seedings I'm about to give you. In the NFC, this is what it looks like. The NFC number 1 seed is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 2, the Green Bay Packers. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. And number 4, the Eagles. Those 4 teams would have home games if the playoffs started today. In the 3 lower seeded teams being number 5 are the Rams, Number 6, the Seahawks, who we played and lost to earlier. And number 7, the Detroit Lions, who play at the host Tampa Bay tonight. So the 1-7 seed do, in fact, play tonight on Monday Night Football. Mike, we get Detroit. We played Seattle. Let me look down through anybody else. We get Green Bay. So all these teams that are in the playoff spots right now, we either played or play a majority of them this season. So if this isn't any indicator, maybe let's say that we can't beat all these teams in the regular season, but maybe you might just learn enough from the games that you do play them in the regular season that you could somehow use that to turn around and beat them come January when it all matters. But as of right now, guys, we are still further out ahead of the Bengals than the Bengals are out ahead of the Browns. So say what you want. It was a loss. It was a loss you don't want to take. But you know what, Mike? You take a bad loss every year. And I got to be honest with you, at a bad loss, I would rather be 33-31 than 33-9 or 33-14. For a bad loss, we did have the chance to win at the end of the game. Things didn't go our way. Yes, there's a million things we can complain about, and we're going to complain about half of them today. But I got to be honest with you, Mike, as far as the overall picture, was it a punch in the gut last Thursday? It was. Was it a punch in the gut because it was the Bengals? It was. Was it a punch in the gut because two guys caught the ball for 200 or 22 times for 7,000 yards in a game?
They're still catching passes down there.
Still catching passes. But I got to be honest with you guys, you can't be down and out because there's teams that are a lot more down and out than we are that have confidence that their teams are going to do something this year. The Ravens at 1-5 still think that they're going to make noise and make the playoffs and do things. So again, guys, it is what it is. The faster we put it behind us, just as we do the wins that we have, you move forward, get ready for the Packers, Mike, and hope to be sitting at 5-2 this time next week.
Yeah, and it's all about how you respond. Definitely
Absolutely.
Even after a win, it's how are you going to respond? Are you going to build on that, or are you going to fall backwards? In this right here, it's very important how they respond. We thought the season was over after the loss to Seattle, and that team played way worse against Seattle than they did against the Bengals. Who would have thought, though, at this point in the season, we would be more worried about the defense than the offense?
Mike, the offense is concerning me none. And I'm gonna give you some numbers today. But going into this weekend, Aaron Rodgers did lead the league with 14 touchdown passes, Mike, in 6 games. Now, mind you, there were teams that played an extra game already in front of us.
Yeah.
There were a couple guys this weekend that did surpass him, and of course, Stafford and the guys that did have big days, they did pass just slightly. But going into this week, Mike, Aaron Rodgers, the 41-year-old quarterback, the guy that this isn't going to work. This is it's a joke. He's a clown. This team, blah blah blah. Mike, he did go into this weekend after the win or the loss on Thursday with 14 touchdown passes, which was tied with Jared Goff for number 1. Again, 2 guys did surpass him over the weekend, just barely. But again, Mike, I'm not concerned about the offense too much at all. Yes, do I want a wide receiver too? Yes, I think that narrative. Yeah, come on. How many more years can we complain about not having that and just not getting it? But listen, the defense is what the concern of mine is, Mike.
Yeah.
We've scored plenty of points this year. We've scored 30 points multiple times. Our quarterback has 14 passing touchdowns. Our running back got over, they got 100 yards rushing last week. The offense, it truly is not a concern.
Moving along, yeah.
And I cannot believe that I'm even saying this with the money, the players, everything that we put into this defense, Mike, in this offseason, coming into this year. What is going on? Is it unfair? I seen Jamal saying the other night on his show, is it fair to sit back and expect the running game to get 100 times, get fixed because you bring in a rookie, Derek Harmon? No, it's not fair. There's a lot of problems on this defense, Mike. They need to get fixed. And if they don't get fixed, we are going to exit this season with a game very similar to the one we played on Sunday. As I said on Friday, that will be the way we go out. Just as when we lost to the Patriots early in the season, back in the day, you get them again in January, they beat you the same exact way, and you exit the same exact way. So now it comes down to coaching. Let's figure out how to fix this thing. Let's figure out adjustments. What do we have to do to counter what they did? So, guys, it's going to be a full team effort moving forward. Green Bay's next on the slate, Mike. Anything about this Green Bay team coming to Pittsburgh Sunday night? What's your comments on this team?
Real quick, just about the Steelers offense real quick. We all agree LA Rams have, McVay is a innovative head or offensive coordinator. We are tied with them for points per game.
I don't think
at
that
25
matters.
is 12. But, I just want to throw that out there. We have the number 12 scoring offense. We're 0.4 points per game away from being a top 10 offense in the league. So the offense, like I said, just to wrap up real quick, who would have thought we would have been this a top 10 offense, top 12 offense in the league. I didn't see it coming.
I don't know if we could, if it's fair to even compare, because do we have a young, innovative anything? I think we don't. We're stale in a lot of areas, and a lot of our assistant
What
coaches.
I'm just saying, a lot of people
and
say,
point taken,
yeah.
taken. And I do want to say that, of course, as I mentioned to start off, I'm not concerned about the offense. I'm content. I'm content with the offense because they seem like they can be consistent. Like here we are 6 games through, and they've been consistent. The offense again has been putting up points and moving the ball and getting first downs. Those things have been improved. The defense is the big question mark, and it leaves you scratching your head.
Yeah.
Because what more do you have to do? Who else do you have to bring in? What can you do to make what happened on Thursday night not happen again here in 4 games when you see Cincinnati again, Mike? Those are the questions I have. But it is where it is. Green Bay's next on the slate, and here we are. All right, let's get on to the board. I do want to. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with him. My bad.
All right, let's go right here. I don't want to miss anybody this morning. I do want to say welcome to everybody that had joined since the last time I said welcome. Welcome back to the show. I'm going to go right here. Mark Malone says, "Can Tallman shut down Jordan Love?" Though that's the question. If he throws the ball fast, gets the ball out of there quick like Flacco did, it might be a concern of mine. Fortunately, I just don't think that's their game, and I don't think they're going to do that. I do think we have a chance. Matter of fact, I think we're going to beat Green Bay. I really do. Tyrone says, I can't wait to see Rodgers versus the Packers. Of course, the storylines will be big. You'll start to see them pile up as the week goes on. Of course, the Packers and Aaron Rodgers going at it in this particular game. Jamal says, has anyone else had issues with AWS outage? I have not that I know of. Field of Steel says, one game at a time. Field of Steel says, Mike says, it's just another game.
It's just another game. Got to put it behind you, move forward.
There's not much you can change it now, right, Mike?
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to wallow in defeat, but you don't want to brush it aside. Same thing, like you don't want to boast in the victory, but you got to brush it aside. So they got to go back and fix up some little things on the defense because they were playing a lot better on defense before this Cincinnati game. Was stopping the run, and all of a sudden you can't stop them. It's like, come on now. Was it a short week type thing? Was it,
Not only were they not able to
Thursday
stop the run,
night type,
Mike, this is the worst running game in the league.
Yeah,
this is the worst. The worst. We're going to talk about numbers. We're going to talk about.
They were fucking.
Mike, the worst running game in the league, and they ran all over us like we weren't even there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're scratching our head just trying to figure some of these things out.
Yeah.
And come on, some of these things don't make much sense. Mark Malone says Dimes has been shooting thick ropes of jizz at his naysayers this year. So far, man, I got to be honest. I didn't expect this when they joked and said maybe we could go after Danny Dimes. I certainly laughed like everybody else, but look who's laughing now, I guess. Tyrone says we better beat them in 3 weeks. I think we can. I think we can win these next 3. You know what? And that's the answer to this question, Mike. The way to put Cincinnati behind us is get out there and beat them here and again in 3 weeks, and we get them again. So that's the one thing that is good about this, guys. And if you lose to them again in the same fashion, then you really have problems, and you got to figure out where the hell you're at. So I don't think we're there yet, guys. I think we're still a ways off. Field of Steel says that Mark Malone, no Teflon Don, not him. Can't Watt stop Love? Remember put season on Watt. Jamal says I got us winning next. However many games we play as a franchise. Jamal also says I don't think I've ever picked the Steelers to lose. I don't either. Mike does that sometime. I'd rather lose my pick. I just would. I don't know. It's just me. I'm loyal. I'm loyal like that.
I want them to win, but if I don't think they're going to win, I'm going to pick against them.
I don't know.
I'm trying to win the league or at least beat Derpy.
You're not even close, so I don't even know why you keep this approach.
But I am beating Derpy, and that's all that matters to me.
I think everybody's beating Derpy.
Just about.
Jamal also says, okay, I'm sorry. John says Taylor has three touchdown games this year and 10 total touchdowns. Oh, he's a beast, dude. And no 2 ways about it. The way that offense is built and they're clicking, that's certainly playing. I think
he had close to 2,000 yards one year. He was closing in on it up there with the Colts.
He's up there.
He's a damn good running back.
Jamal says, did I hear disagreement or disagreements go like, fuck you, Tyrone? See, John says KC looks like they woke up. It was against the Raiders, however. Oh, the Raiders are so bad. The Raiders are so
Ooh.
bad. I got to be honest with you. We're going to actually talk about them shortly. So let me get back to that here in a bit. Tyrone says, I already know what's up with Taylor. Watched him. Watched him in college. Tyrone is saying, Mark Malone says, but we still get confirmation picks? Like, because, again, Justin Fields gets benched yesterday. Do we get any compensatory picks for our two quarterbacks now that they've both been benched early in this season?
Right now they're still holding strong as 4th round picks. I was just looking at the formula. Like right now, Russell Wilson's hanging on right now. He's like a borderline 5th round pick now, based on different things with the formula, like the percentage of snaps right now. So his snap count is going to keep dropping him down. We should still get something for him, though, I hope.
All right. So that's, yeah, I mean, we're hoping everything was looking good, but now everything that we traded away, they're getting benched. So, again, we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Tyrone says these next two stuff the run made quarterbacks beat you. Tyrone also says, Mark, so far, I think a 4th for Justin. Then Russ, he got benched so quick. Late round.
I think he's still a 4th right now from what I'm seeing on formulas, but he might drop down to a 5th.
Vegas says, what's hold on, let's see. Mark Malone says, I hope so, Tyrone. Crap, it looks like Fields won't play again. I got to be honest with you, Fields may get a chance. I mean, come on, if Typhoid Mary, what's his name? Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
If I mean, unless he performs miracles and gets his team back into it, you may see Justin Fields back on the field. I just think that it's so bad up there. Now they don't know what to do. So again, Typhoid Mary, if she could carry the load, Tyrod Taylor, maybe you won't see him. But again, I'm not convinced that he's not going to be put back in, because I don't think anything they have is much better. But we will see. What's Tomlin's record going to be after a mini bye week? Vegas is asking. As long as it's not on Thursday nights on the road against division teams, it might be okay. I can't believe that there's any coach that's winless after seven of these particular kind of games. Field of Steel says no adjustments on receivers. On 2 receivers, whose fault is that? Oh, I forgot. It's Watt's fault.
They did run adjustments on them.
Well, the adjustments weren't great. I got to be honest with you. People were saying that there wasn't adjustments. They weren't that good. And we'll see if we can make them moving forward. We couldn't do it on Thursday night, so we'll see if we could do it moving forward.
I was watching a video. They double teamed both guys and Slag beat up the middle on a streak route by the 3rd guy. And like, they didn't adjust. They did.
Well, that's common sense. Of course they're going to throw it. Of course they're going to throw it over the top. I would. That's what I would do, and I'm not even a coordinator. John says the Steelers dropped to a 2% chance to win the Super Bowl.
Who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl now?
I don't know.
Anyone know?
I think Buffalo. For some reason. Tyrone says Tomlin will do better with the adjustment. Mark Malone says, can Rodgers get the 42? I think he can get 42. He's on pace for, I think, a little bit over 40, as a matter of fact. Right now, 14 touchdowns at 6 games. So do the math on that. Jamal says, my dog, that just made my day. Somber. Bro, what's up, dude? Nice seeing Somber as well. Somber says, who's covering Matthew Golden? 4.2940. Eccles is our only 4.3 corner besides Kent, who is still on IR. Phil Steel says, freaking Watt. I'll fix the defense 90. It's all on you. I'll get into him because, he didn't do great, but by all means, nobody did because of the particular game plan that they used. And again, we lived in our fears and we got our asses beaten. We didn't want that game. We did not want that particular situation. And that's kind of shitty to me because, again, you're going to play better teams than the friggin' Bengals and Joe Flacco down the road. I promise you. Especially if you want to get that first playoff win in 8 years. Tortilla says wide receiver 2. Can we trade for a DC 2? Vegas Derpy is young and innovative, ain't he? He's something.
He's innovative on trying to get the porn out there.
Let me see this. Phil still says, Ryan, fuck yeah, I'm riding the Watts fault only. Every Steeler loss in 2025. Get your shit together. You know what? He wasn't the reason they lost, but he was part of the whole of the defense that did look bad. It gave up 33 points against, again, the worst rushing offense in the league.
When you're getting paid quarterback money, you got to produce results. And
you might have said the same thing to Myles Garrett last week when he did nothing against us. But again, it's that quick delivery, Mike. This is why they did it. This is exactly why they knew we couldn't cover it. And again, now the burden's on us. The ball is in our court. If we can fix this, if we can't, whatever the case may be, this is how the season's going to turn out for us. They exposed us. It's been done many times over the years to us. Can we right the wrong is the question. Caleb says my Jim Palmer toilet just destroyed our shared bathroom. I missed hearing about that Jim Palmer.
I forgot about the Jim Palmer poster.
Also, Mark Malone says that ain't no lie. Tortilla. I'm sorry, Tortilla. I missed that. It said we have a young, innovative gardener for the grass. Tyrone says yes, Somber. He's the best wide receiver. Jamal says, man, we're about to kick Jordan Love's ass. I'm feeling a win. I am feeling a win. And I think it's going to keep us in the conversation, and people are going to say, again, right now, Green Bay's sitting at the number 2 seed in the NFC. I think this win is huge if the Steelers can do it. And I just keep thinking to myself, Mike, every time I think that I'm out of my mind, I think the Cleveland Browns beat this team. The team that we just beat 23-9 last week, and probably our most complete game of the season, if you will. So I'm not super overly concerned with Green Bay. Are they good? Yes. Are they going to be able to do good things? Yes. But again, if this defense is down 2 weeks in a row, maybe next week in against Indianapolis, it's down. Defense is down 3 years in a row. I just don't know if this defense is that bad. Again, they get paid the most money in the whole league. I'd like to see a little bit better results than that, Mike. Again, I don't think they're that bad. I think we should win a game here over the next couple of weeks. If we get swept through these next 2 games, I'd be very surprised.
Me too. I don't think we're going to get swept. No, going 500 the next 2 games, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I can see us going 1-1. And then after that, we got the Chargers, then the Bengals. Bengals being at home this time. So again, guys, 1 week at a time. As we always say, no game is more important than the Green Bay Packers right now on Sunday night. They come here to Pittsburgh. Mike, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 start, throwback game, cool uniforms, all that kind of fun stuff. Tortilla says, I want to see Mike Tomlin run for president so we can give up 500 yards to China. Also, let's see what we got. Christopher, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Christopher on the terrible board. He says Carl Dunbar and Terrell Austin are stubborn as hell. Keanu Benton is not a nose tackle. Watch the all-22. He's getting blown off the ball. Also, the age is starting to show on Cam. You're right, Mike, and it's making me wonder, depending on how the season turns out, does that dictate the way the draft goes in a sense that we had an idea of what we wanted in the draft?
Yeah.
But does this season send us on a detour come April when the draft comes here to Pittsburgh?
It could. Your first round, yeah, we were talking about, maybe getting a quarterback next year, but the way the quarterbacks are playing this year in college, some of them might not be coming out this year. And the ones that are coming out, if you want to take a look at them, you might be able to grab one in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. And if that's going to be the case, might as well just go with Will Howard. So then, okay, you go back to the drawing board. Yeah, we went D-line last year. We can go D-line again this year. You can go wide receiver. You can go cornerback in the first round. So now it opens it up to a whole slew of possibilities to where it's going to be the best, more or less the best football player you can find at that spot in the first round. You take him.
Is that what happens when you need so much? You just go out and grab the best possible football player available?
Yeah. You go and get the best. You could do that anyway, too. Go and get the best player, and you're going to find a way to use them and utilize them. But with the D-line Cam finally hitting the wall with his age, double dip on the D-line. Maybe not in the first round, but second round maybe. Take the best corner, take the best wide receiver. Not a bad solution there. And then you go in free agency and see if you can plug one of the holes that way. So it's going to be interesting. We still got to wait to for the season to play out. To see how that's going to go. But yeah, right now it's shaping up. The draft is wide open. Because what position wouldn't you draft in the first round right now? Exactly.
I have a handful
Kicker
of
and
positions
punter.
I wouldn't draft in the first round, but I also
Like-
have a handful that I would draft in the first round as
Yeah.
well. Mike, I do want to say this as well. If anybody's wondering how bad the performance was from our defense on Thursday night, Mike, Jamar Chase's 16 catches versus the Steelers. That's the most catches they've ever allowed one player, a Steelers defense. And again, this is a Steelers defense that was built to stop him.
Yeah.
Like him, the guy that actually did this, the guy that actually has more catches in one game than any other receiver against the Steelers in history. This highest paid defense on a team that's coached by a defensive-minded coach that was built to stop that guy literally had the worst possible game that you could possibly have against that guy.
Yeah.
Make that make sense, please.
I can't. The Steelers defense is now, passing-wise, 31st in the NFL. Giving up 258 yards through the
31st in the NFL, and anything is, if you're paid that much money, is unacceptable.
Yeah.
If you're, it doesn't. I don't care who you are, where you're at. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and 18th in scoring, giving up 23.3 points a game. Right there with the Chargers. And, Pittsburgh and San Diego are supposed to have really good defenses this year, and both of them are playing fucking dog shit right now.
Chargers got a lot of injuries too, man, just like everybody else in the league. And that's why nobody's playing really great this year, Mike. I got to be honest with you, with the exception of the Colts. Nobody looks fantastic.
Like going through and looking at the stats that I'm looking at and that we're talking about, you can, the preseason narrative is not matching any of the midseason narratives in the NFL.
If you look across the board, nuts. Mike, the Colts, the Pats, the Broncos, and the Steelers, that was 2008. Those are four teams that were the top four teams in 2008. Patriots, Colts, Broncos, Steelers. I mean, come on.
Manning, Brady, Rivers, Ben.
We're in that cycle. This is where we be. So, we got to take advantage. You know how we did back then. Let's do it again. We go right here to Somber. Somber says JPJ going to be looking at the back of Golden's jersey if he covers Golden. Merlin Ames, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Merlin on the board. Welcome back. He says better figure out our Josh Jacobs. Better figure that out or Josh Jacobs will run all over us.
Mm-hmm.
Tortilla says his slogan will be bend, but don't break America. Tyrone says if you notice when we play good running backs, shut them down mostly, then a running back we don't. It's and that's another thing I seen Jamal say the other night on his show. Why is it always against the Steelers that the worst defense or the worst team in the league has their best career rushing night, or the worst passing team in the league has their best? Why is it always come down to the Steelers, Mike? And we've talked about this before. Why is the rookie tight end who's never caught a pass the guy that catches 3 touchdowns in a game that beats the Steelers? Is that happen to everybody, or is it just more?
It happens to everyone, but we see it, so therefore we you magnify it. Like, why is it only happening to us? Why is it? It happens to every team, but it's in their fan base is probably the same thing. Why the fuck is it happening to us? So it happens. It's just frustrating, very frustrating, because I think so too, because we have 3 sports teams and it's always the same thing. Like in hockey, that goalie you never heard of stonewalls you, that pitcher you never heard of fucking shuts you out. It just seems to happen a lot here in Pittsburgh across all sports. So it just magnifies and stacks on top of itself of this shit that shouldn't happen that does happen. This is how I feel by watching all 3 teams. I see it every year in every sport, so it just builds up.
Mark Malone says he thinks the great secondary master has tainted our free agents already. Tyrone says crazy JPJ put hands on him or Eccles, and I'm putting him. And I'm going to tell you guys something. You're going to be exciting to know a little bit about this Brandon Eccles here in a minute when I give you these numbers. That's the second time I've seen his name come up in the chat today, Mike. Let me give you some guys. Let me break in with some PFF scores for the week of the Steelers versus the Bengals. If you want to know why you should never, ever pay any attention to PFF, I'm going to tell you why. This is the grades for our Steelers on Thursday night. And again, we're going to be done with the Bengals talk here just in a matter of minutes, but I have to get this stuff out, guys, before we do this. This is the PFF grades, Mike, after the game against the Bengals on offense. With an 87.6 grade from the PFF, Mike, was Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren, good game. All right, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Number 2, Ciamalo, 78.4. All right, good game. Aaron Rodgers, 76.8, looking good. Pat Fryermuth, again with 2 touchdowns and a million yards. He somehow lands underneath everybody else, but still he's up there. So 75.8. Mike, but then number 5, better than everybody else on this offense. Better than Roman Wilson. Better than Mike, Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller was the 5th highest offensive player by the Steelers against the Bengals. Scotty Miller. This is why I don't trust PFF as far as I could throw it, guys. Scotty Miller?
Scotty, he had what, 1 reception that game?
I was lucky to even see him out there. The guy, come on, Scotty Miller scored higher than everybody. Jonnu Smith with his catches, his touchdown. With Darnell Washington's touchdown. Scotty Miller, Mike, graded higher than both of those gentlemen.
Yeah, he had 1 catch for 9 yards. Don't tell me the limited snaps he was out there that his blocking made him so much better than Fryermuth's 2 touchdowns, Sayamalo helping out in the run game and the pass game. No fucking way.
Let me get to the defensive side. It gets even worse. but Mike, you better be sitting down.
What was Miller? He was that is insane.
Mike, he was the 5th best Steeler with the 72.9 on the game for the offense. All right. Now let me get into defense. The highest paid. This is think. All right, stop everybody for 1 minute. Think of the game. You thinking? Bengals, Steelers. Think how it went. Okay. Now let me give you the PFF grades on the way the defense went. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Number 1, the number 1 highest rated player by the PFF for our defense on Thursday, guys, Nick Herbig, 90.4. What did Mike, I didn't even see Nick Herbig in this game.
He played 25% of the snaps, and none of them were memorable.
And he was supposed to play more, and he actually played less than he was supposed to play. And did he do anything?
No.
Mike, he was the highest paid, highest.
I don't remember what he did that game.
The highest rated guy on defense. Mike, here we go. Number 2, the 2nd highest rated guy on defense. You ready?
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, 89.6. 89.6. Think of how Cam played. Think of the running.
What did he do?
Think of how they ran the ball with the worst running game in the league for well over 100 yards. Cam Hayward, Mike, number 2. Number 3, are you ready for number 3? Who's number 3 on the PFF list, Mike, for the Steelers defense? Cole Holcomb with an 83. Cole Holcomb. What did Cole Holcomb do? Again, stopping the run was just not there.
No.
Number 4. Get this one, guys. Brandon Eccles, 78.8. Number 4th best player according to PFF in the game Thursday night, Brandon Eccles. And finally, Mike, the 5th best player according to PFF from the game on Thursday against the Bengals was Derek Harmon. All I'm seeing is a bunch of guys that should have been stopping the run all night.
Yeah.
Against the worst team in the league, and they didn't. But for some reason, Herbig, Cam, Holcomb, Harmon, all graded really high, according to PFF. And this is why I say you should never, ever, at least if you're going to talk to people in conversation in your real life, don't pay attention to what PFF says, because you're going to look silly when you start saying that, oh, well, hey, this guy did. They're going to say, where'd you hear that? You're going to say PFF. And this is going to be what it is, guys.
If your 2 starting DNs are rated that high, that means they are consistently beating the man across and then forcing double teams to come to them. That did not happen. That did not happen at all. Wow. This is why PFF is a joke. But people who don't really just watch the game and go about their day and then read, PFF saying Cam had a great game. Cam Hayward this is why he's one of the best.
Exactly.
No. Go and watch. Like he got a couple pressures in there, but he did nothing to be graded in like that. What'd you say, 89?
Cam Hayward was a 89.6, Mike, almost 90.
No.
Again, Mike, Roman Wilson, a couple nice catches. Roman Wilson jumped over a guy, yet Scotty Miller graded over Roman Wilson. I mean, even like I'm saying, just kind of going off of guys that had 1 catch.
Yeah, like no. Cam didn't do anything in there positively to really affect the game. Like you said, they were running all over us. And even after the game, Cam was all pissed off, like, we got to stop the fucking run. Like, they know they played like shit. And for people like, PFF, we watch every snap, every player. We watch it, we break it down.
We don't watch shit.
What the fuck were you watching?
You guys are fucking retarded. Listen, here's another thing for you. I didn't even think this was true. I didn't even think this was true.
Love
56 straight games.
Yeah.
56 straight games. 56 straight games, guys, with seven or fewer first quarter points for Tomlin Steelers. No coach has ever had a longer streak in NFL history.
That's 3.29 seasons of football.
Wow. I said that can't be possible. We've had to score more than 7 points. Mike, I looked. It's true, 100% true. The Steelers have just gone 56 straight games with scoring 7 or fewer points in the first quarter. Again, never done before under one coach in the history of the NHL or NFL. I'm sorry. So just kind of an idea, guys,
this is wild.
This is where we're at, man. This is where we're at right now. Good things. There's good things. There's bad things. There's bad things. But one thing I do know is we have to get ready for this game on Sunday night, Mike, against the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love and company will be coming down here to the North Shore to try to get a win, to keep their good fortunes going over in the NFC. We're going to try to stop that because, again, at the end of the day, Mike, we are the 4 seed in the whole entire AFC, and that's not a bad thing. And we can still keep continuing to get wins and continuing to create space between us and the teams below us. That's the plan anyway, so we'll go from here.
Yeah, and what's funny is the way the offense is scoring this year. You would have thought, like, sometime this year, a couple times we put up 30 points, we would have had at least 10 to 14 in the first quarter of one of those games.
Or we could be like the Broncos that had 33 points in the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter. Doesn't matter, hey, as long as you're scoring more than the other team. But I get what you're saying. Like the offense, man, it's not setting for a lot of those games, not setting the team up for success. How many 3-and-outs were in those games, too? Probably a shit ton.
Let's get back on the board, though. Vegas is vanilla. Your team is up like 70 in fantasy. My team has 30 so far after I went and got Kansas City wide receiver Rice out of free agency and didn't make sure I started him like an idiot.
Yeah, I was worried about my team, too, and I checked the scores today. I'm like, ooh, baby.
Merlin says, how bad does Aaron Glenn look? Oh, yeah. I actually feel bad for that guy.
We don't need you. We don't need you.
I actually feel bad for that poor guy.
Man should have just stayed a defensive coordinator.
They gave up Rodgers and paid Fields $40 million over 2 years. As I said, there's always somebody out there worse off than you are, and there you go. Christopher says, move Ramsey back to safety and why he blocked a nose tackle, and for God's sake, get Corey Trice on the damn field if he's healthy. I agree. I'm a Corey Trice guy. He does have a hard time staying healthy. But a couple of things that I do want to say. I think that maybe, Mike, should Jalen Ramsey's role be simplified a little bit? Is there too much on his plate? Could we've got better performance from him playing just a typical corner position, Mike? Is he just being given too much to handle right now? Because, again, this team, if you put all the numbers together, should not have turned out the way that it did on Thursday night, defensive-wise. Would you say that it would be a smart decision, or would it be any different if Jalen Ramsey's role would change?
I think Jalen Ramsey's role, because I think this game they had him. It felt like they had him cover the receivers more than they did when they had him bouncing around all throughout the secondary. I think he's better when he's not forced to lock up against teams. This is our number one, follow him around. When he's playing safety, playing slot, playing on the outside, where's he blitzing from? Where's he going to drop into coverage at? I think his role is better when you don't know where he's going to be on any given play. He's out there. You're like, okay, where's he going to line up? Oh, shit. Now we got to hurry up and adjust what we want to do on offense. But when they know where he's going to be, when he's static on a guy, I think that's where he's going to be a bigger liability. Because you're seeing he doesn't have the quickness he once did. He still can play positionally well. But sometimes if a guy beats a step on him, it's 50-50 if he's going to have that recovery speed. So I kind of like him being bounced around the defense. Kind of like how like Troy would be lined up all over the place. You don't know what he's going to do. Do that with Jalen Ramsey. Because I trust Ramsey to get to where he needs to be from doing those weird lineups. I don't trust him as much in coverage anymore from what I've seen this year. I think last year was his last hurrah as a cover corner. Now he's going to be a glorified safety nickel guy. I
think he's still an above average corner. I just think that, again, I mean, if you're expecting prime Jalen Ramsey at this point, I don't know if you're going to get it. But as you said, I think if you're not But you're saying if he's not put into that role to be constantly tied to one position, he's going to have himself give himself better opportunities to make more plays, to be more effective. So I mean that makes sense to a degree. So you know what? Again, we'll see, Mike. We'll see how we do against Aaron. It's not going to get any easier, Mike. We do got Jordan Love. We do got Danny Dimes. We do got Justin Herbert, and we also, I think he might have 400 yards this weekend. I'm not sure. In that loss, and then also, Mike, the Bengals again in just 4 weeks we'll be seeing Joe Flacco once again. Hopefully, not Joe Burrow. I guess he's supposed to be making that late season comeback. We will see. But let me jump back on the board here, guys. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Says Aaron Glenn is just doing his best Penn State impression, Mike.
See, look, you mentioned Penn State. My camera commits suicide.
I got so much to say about Penn State, but I'm going to save it. Scott Atkins. Scott, hey, what's up, dude? Great seeing you back on the board, brother. Always great seeing Scott. He says, why can't the Steelers DBs jam or bump receivers at the line? Why do they have to keep giving them free releases at the line? Is that just a forgotten art at quarterback, Mike?
I have been saying that for a long ass time. I would say for the past 15 years, I'd just be screaming at my TV. I remember Ike Taylor would give guys on 4th and 3, they would be lined 10 yards off. What are you doing? It does seem to be a lost art in the NFL because I feel like the league doesn't give the DBs that 5-yard cushion anymore to where you're allowed to play a little bump and run. They get so quick with the flags anymore. I think guys are afraid to get handsy at the line of scrimmage and jam guys.
Field of Steel says bank it. Steelers 3, Cheeseheads 2. Ramsey picks it and Boz wins it. Boom is what Phil's saying down in Texas. Tyrone says, right, tell Jamal that he thinks it's just TJ Watt versus everyone else. Phil still says that Scott Atkins, he says, there you go, bump them. MI has no 5-yard cushion. Tortilla says that Scott, well, the DBs don't look like they can keep up with anyone they need. What was that?
Oh, my bad. I was blowing into my video. I thought I muted my mic.
Let's see. They also need extra steps. Scott also says, I wish Freiermuth would have stopped outside the 10. Listen, and me and Mike actually got in an argument about this during the game because hold on. Let me read the comment first, and I'll kind of talk about that. Scott says, I wish Freiermuth would have stopped outside the 10 to have the potential or another first down before the touchdown. Should have prepped the receivers and his backs on this. I agree. This is a coaching blunder. You play the time. You play the smart football. You play the time. You play the clock. If you're that close, you bank on you're going to be able to score from 10 yards out in the next 4 plays, and you bleed that clock. It's smart football. You take the clock away from the Cincinnati Bengals, and guess what happens if you don't? Exactly what happened on Thursdays. What happens when you don't?
Okay, he slides. He stops. Next play is an out route that's intercepted and taken back.
Well, that's like the next play could be a touchdown.
No, what for the touchdown? You score points when you can score points.
No,
you score them when you can.
Not in that situation. That's a game situation.
You score when you can score. You don't.
That's a game situation. That's smart football. You're trying to play dumb football.
Under a minute, yeah, but they still have their timeouts. They still have the 2 minutes.
Exactly, and you want them to burn that.
Could have happened.
No, you want them to burn all that. And if you score right then, they burn none of it, and they have it all in their advantage. Mike, there's no way he should
score when you can score.
That's not smart football. That's how you lose games. That's why they lost the game.
That's not why they lost the game.
Well, ultimately it is because if they would have stopped and played Mike, if they would have stopped and played the clock and bled the clock like you're supposed to, Cincinnati wouldn't have had the opportunity to get down the field and make the field goal. Again, it's smart. I don't know why you're arguing it.
Not on that time. No, you get the points, and then hopefully your defense goes out there and gets to stop and gets you the ball back.
I disagree, but we lost because they did what you did, and we lost. So they did what you're saying.
Things that could have happened.
Yeah, like score a touchdown and things go right. Of course,
a bad snap. Holding penalties, this penalty, that penalty. Next thing you know, you got to kick a field goal and you're still behind.
That's not.
We've seen this happen. Where
you got to have
offense sputters.
But they didn't. They scored right away and gave Cincinnati enough time to win the game. That's all. That's what it comes down to.
Go out there and do their job.
That's because that happened all night or at all this season. So I'm putting my faith in the offense because that's who's playing better football.
And I'm of the philosophy you score when you can. Now, if you're inside like a minute, go ahead and do that. Bleed the clock.
Situational football, it's not a smart move. But you know what? Again, I respect your opinion. I seen where it didn't go right and we lost the game. So again, I think situational you play it differently. In your opinion is your opinion, so it's fine. We are going to move along though because there is a lot of messages on the board, Mike. And again, we could get buried if we don't stay on top of them. I'm going to try to find where we were at right here. And John says asking Ramsey and Slay to still be able to cover is idiotic. You know, John, you're right at their age, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is why they brought these guys in. We should, should we have looked differently? Should we look elsewhere in the offseason? How do you address the cornerback situation if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers? You tried one way, it didn't work. You're trying this way, it's not working even more, which doesn't even make sense. But it's kind of where we're at. Vegas says Jim Palmer never gave up a grand slam. Interesting for Vegas to know that. Jamal says trade TJ Watt or tell him to get his shit together. You know what? I think he's going to have a better game this week, Mike. And again, at some point, I expect to see a TJ Watt game out of him. We got little doses early on in the season, Mike, but here we are, almost halfway through the season, and a couple more games. Have you been excited about the play of TJ Watt at all? I mean, the interception was nice. Underachieving in the sack column, underachieving in the tackle column. Nobody fears. It doesn't seem like people fear Watt anymore, Mike.
They're still throwing 2 to 3 guys over there, but it's given opportunities when he's been on one-on-one. A little underwhelmed this year.
And the thing is, if you're putting 3 guys on one guy, there should be other people making plays. You know what I mean? There should be other guys that are available to make plays. There's just a lot going on with this defense right now. I do want to say what's up to Darwin Nolan on the board. Great to see Darwin, and welcome to the show. He says Steelers need to trade for Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson and giving up the 2026 first and second round draft picks. Steelers need to make these moves. The AFC is wide open. A couple of things about that. I'm turning more into the needs of defense as the season goes on, as I was certainly thinking quarterback, wide receiver, all these things going into the season. But Garrett Wilson isn't exactly playing great anymore either, Mike. Is it just because he's a Jet, or is he just not as good as everyone made him out to be? Again, his play's certainly fallen, and but it's consistent with what's going on with that football team.
It's consistent with what is really going on with that football team. But I wouldn't go and get Garrett Wilson. Him and Aaron Rodgers played together last year, and it didn't go swimmingly for either of those two. They could not get on the same page. Aaron kind of like vaguely taking shots at them in the media. I wouldn't go and get him. I'm more in line of if you're going to go get a receiver, you're going to go and get a rental so you can get them cheap. Someone like a Jacoby Myers that Rashid Shaheed, people that you're not going to pay long term. But then on defense, I'm finding a way to find myself a corner who can cover, a linebacker who can stop the run, and someone on the D-line who can play better than Cam's playing right now.
So what you're saying is we have a long way to go on the defense. As much as we put into the defense and as much as the resources we have for defensive play and the money that went into it and the time and effort in this offseason, you're saying that's where our biggest needs are is on defense.
It's after one game, after this one loss, yeah.
Well, they were lumping in with some earlier losses as well, Mike. I mean,
and like those first two games,
some earlier games. I'm sorry, Seattle.
The first 2 games where they were playing rough, and then New England wasn't a pretty game, but they got better after that game and got better, and then a setback this one. So looking at it from a setback, we're still kind of pissed off about what happened. Like, for me, the biggest needs are on the defense. The offense is coming around. The O-line's playing better. Rodgers is playing better, or they're adapting to the situation a whole lot better, and then the defense is adapting right now. And the defense should be getting better because they just got Highsmith back.
They like trade deadline just 2 weeks from tomorrow. Tomorrow at 4:00. It'll be 2 weeks, and then we're gonna know an answer within a couple weeks here, Mike. So, are we gonna go after an offense? Are we gonna go after a wide receiver too? We're gonna go after an offensive player. Again, after watching these first 6 games collectively, I don't know if the offense is where we need all the help. But who are you gonna get at this point, Mike, to step in that's sitting around not playing football right now, or on another team that somebody might be willing to give up, and you don't have to give up a mint to get them. This is, again, just kind of where we're at, Mike. We got Green Bay. We have our problems, as does everybody else. Are we going to be able to fix them all? I don't think we are. However, I think that we would, in theory, should be able to figure out a way to to fix the things that we have again, Mike. And if you
Yeah.
can't, that's when you start to see bigger problems you have to take care of. But as of right now, let's get ready for Green Bay. Let's hope that this was that shitty loss.
Yeah.
Because this was a shitty loss. No two ways about it, Mike. And you know what? Every once in a while, you lose to that division team. Again, the Patriots lost to the Jets over the years during the
Eagles
Brady
lost
era.
to the Giants this year, so
The Jets and the Brady. I'm sorry, and then also, Mike, the Patriots also lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And the lowly Buffalo Bills from time to time during the tenure of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. So again, is it reason to run and scream and hide under a rock? I don't think so. But Mike, they do have to get their shit together, and it's got to get a lot better moving forward because again, the competition certainly gets better as we go along as well.
It does too. And was this another like a short week thing? You look at teams that are since Thursday nights became a thing. The road team, they don't win a whole lot of games. And they don't. It's a competitive imbalance for some reason. No matter who the away team is, they have a losing record in Thursday night games. So you lump everything in together. Fuck it. It was what it was. You got to move on, regroup, refocus, and figure out what's working, what's not. But for me, after this one game, I would be more looking towards the defense because the offense has been playing well the past couple of weeks. Yeah, you would like to have another shiny toy on offense. But, if we can start getting Freiermuth involved the way he was there, guess what? That's going to open up more people, and it kind of did. But our offense it's working. It's almost a top 10 scoring offense in the NFL. Who would have thought that would have happened this year?
Again, I have no problem with the offense.
Yeah,
I'm quite content with the offense, to be honest with you.
One name to keep an eye on. He's coming back from an injury. He's a free agent. Asante Samuel Jr.
How old is he?
He's like 25, 24, 25, 26, in that range. He's still a younger guy. Still got speed.
I must be thinking
never lived up to the billing, but was still a pretty good NFL corners. Maybe take a flyer on him, but I have a feeling a lot of teams who need secondary help might be taking a look at him. But he could be a guy that you can get free and cheap.
Phil the Steel says there Steelers lose it. Watt's fault. He's the only one. No, he's definitely not the only one messing up, dude. I listen. Is he doing anything great, Phil? I mean, let's be honest with one another. What's he doing that's great? To say that, oh man, why are we picking on Watt because he's going? I mean, obviously that's not the case. The whole defense is playing bad, but again, at the end of the day, he's not doing anything exceptional. He had a couple splash plays early on. I think he had that interception and a couple other things, but so did a lot of the other guys at this point. They just got to get it together and play as a whole and say, hey, we got 11 football games left. We have to figure out how to make things better and stop the things that, again, the worst rushing offense in the league behind an offensive line that allowed their superstar quarterback to get murdered and injured for most of the season. Again, not very encouraging. I don't know if it's a psychological thing. I don't know what it was, but at the end of the day, Jamar Chase did something that no other receiver's ever done to the Pittsburgh Steelers guys of catching 16 passes. That's never been done.
He just caught another pass. He
just caught another one.
A touchdown.
Also, I do want to say this, Mike. I said that Rodgers and Goff both had 14 touchdowns going into the weekend. This is what it looks like now. Mahomes, he tied them. He has 14. He's tied with Goff and Rodgers. Dak Prescott hit 16, and then Stafford obviously had about 100 touchdowns in their game. He has 17 now, so that's the way it looks. But I do believe they all played one more game than Rodgers did. So Stafford 17, Dak 16, Mahomes, Goff, and Aaron Rodgers all with 14 touchdowns, which is encouraging again, Mike. So again, the offense, I'm more content. I'm more at ease with. Do I think they should slow down? No, you should always be trying to get better and figure out ways to get better. But more of both sides, I feel comfortable with what the offense is doing right now, which is mind blowing. Considering that, again, the money you pay into the defense and your offense is being ran by somebody who should probably be a coach in the league by this point in his life. But this is where we be. Again, one more time, Green Bay guys, Sunday night. It's where we're at. I'm going to go right here to Tyrone. He says defense will be better. He says trust. Caleb says at Vegas, nobody does enjoy the Denny's Grand Slams. Oh, shit. Jen, what's going on? She says, that is what I remind Packers fans. You fuckers lost to the Browns. Damn right. We didn't lose to no Browns.
They get salty about that.
Tyrone says 90 is the best. It's the GOAT. Jamal says, Mike T for life. He's got my vote. Vegas says over enthusiastic and turned Caleb. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like that? That's Grand Slam breakfast at Denny's.
Fucking
Tortilla's
amazing.
saying I could go for some Denny's. I know Derpy could go for some Denny's. Phil
Derby has
still,
a body built by Denny's.
he does. Phil still says that Jamal. There you go. Put season in Watt. Darwin says that Scott. That's in hindsight. It is not the end of the game. Too much time on the clock, and you are losing. If you were winning, maybe yes. Merlin says, do the Steelers try to sign Rodgers to one more? I kind of let's see the way it plays out.
You got to let it play out.
You know, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe at the end of the year, as Russell Wilson had his 5-game slide, Mike. You know, maybe things don't go so well, and we're ready for Aaron Rodgers to go by week 17. We don't know. So far, it looks good.
If you can get him for another $10 million and he plays the way he is now at the end of the year, I would be all for it because you're not investing a lot and you still have Mason cheap and then you have Will Howard still on a rookie contract.
And obviously,
that's not a lot of money tied up
on what the future
is.
What you plan on your future being for the quarterback. We don't know what they plan. I mean, do they want to look in the draft? Do they want to go Will Howard? So I mean, they have options, and Aaron Rodgers could certainly play a big role in either direction they go. I think, Mike.
Yeah. And if you can get him cheap again, that allows them to spend more money on defense, more money on offense to add more weapons. Like if you're not going to land a phenomenal rookie quarterback to run your team on a rookie contract, this is what you have to do. You have to build up your team towards a good team around an older quarterback that can still make plays when needed, but doesn't have to be the guy.
Vegas says the Denny's on West Sahara has a robot that will bring your food out to you. I think it's going to be not too long before it's happening everywhere, dude. I'm seeing more and more. Tortilla says just give Watt a headset and make him the defensive coordinator. There you go. Darwin says Steelers need to trade for Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, and giving up the 2026 first and second round draft pick. Steelers need to make these moves. The AFC is wide open. I agree. The AFC is wide open. The only thing that's concerning to me is we can't stop the worst rushing offense in the league. That is on a night that we had the come on, what Jamar Chase did to us. So again, it's wide open, but we like everybody else, we have a lot of issues we do need to get fixed, Mike. And as you said, it's how you bounce back, it's how you rebound. So what the Steelers do next is going to say a lot about this football team.
It does too. We'll find out how truly all in they are. Was this an all in year, or was this a step in moving forward type year for the team? We'll find out.
And Tyrone, I think you know what, as weird as it sounds to say, I do too. Because he's probably going to give you the best results. Say what you want about the old man. Yeah, he's weird. We all acknowledge this. But at the end of the day, look what he's doing, guys. Again, these numbers here. Mike, only listen to this. Going into the weekend, I don't know if it changed, but going into Sunday's game, Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback with multiple 4+ touchdown pass games this season. Mike, the only quarterback going into this weekend that had multiple 4 touchdown games this season. So say what you want. Yes, is he going to be the quarterback of our future? Absolutely not. But let's squeeze what we can out of this guy before he hangs it up. I guess he's Mike. He's doing better than pretty much anybody else that we could have brought in of the options. And again, if you would have started a Will Howard, you want Mason Rudolph, you think they're scoring? You think they're putting up the touchdowns that Aaron Rodgers is putting up after 6 games? No way in hell.
Probably not. Not even close.
Let's go to Jen. Jen says Rodgers needs to this game to win against all 32 teams.
No shit.
I guess that makes sense. Mr. Tummy's saying number 1 draft cornerbacks. Keep trying to build a secondary, Mike. I don't know if I hate that. I've never really been a draft a cornerback first kind of guy. But if that game last week didn't scare the shit out of you, nothing did. Somber says, watch the Browns draft Mendoza. They would be the team, Mike, that they would draft Mendoza. Again, all the disastrous quarterback situations they have up there, that would F us because I would love to have him. He would go there and they'd F him up for his career.
Oh, they would too.
They says, let's see, says, not scared of them having him because they're the Browns, but I'd be pissed because if he went to a shit organization, that's what they do. That's what they do. Tyrone says, that's sad. You think like that, Vegas. I'm not sure what that was referring to. Let's see. Darwin says on Thursday, the front seven didn't generate any pressure or could stop the run. Why? Short week, and the defense played 82 snaps on Sunday against the Browns, above the league's average of 60 games. But you know what? The Bengals played, they had a short week too. You know what I mean? They didn't look like they missed any time. They didn't look like they was on a short week. Again, the worst rushing offense in the league. They ran all over us. And that's not even getting into what Jamar Chase did. So, again, Darwin does say Corey Trice played solid against Chase. I like Trice. I'd like to continue to see Trice. It's going to be hard to keep him on the field. He's dealt with injuries his whole career. Ever since the day he's been drafted, the guy's basically most of the time been injured. But I do like him. He's sizey. He's rangy. I think he's good coverage. Fearless Steel says, and it's all Watt's fault, freaking TJ. Tortilla, Broderick Jones versus the world. Listen, let's stop for a second, guys. Let's talk about that the tackle. We have many things that in this town to talk about. We have the immaculate reception.
Yes.
We have the immaculate extension.
Yes.
We have the immaculate tackle, the shoestring tackle. But, Mike, this tackle by Broderick Jones on Aaron Rodgers might have been one of the greatest. I watched this probably 24 times over the weekend, and I laughed harder every single time I watched it for a plethora of reasons. Yeah. For one, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Who does that? I've never seen.
Like if that's Big Ben, Cam Newton, yeah, jump on their backs. They're big guys. They got strong legs. They'd be able to carry you, bro, Joe. Aaron Rodgers got chicken legs to begin with, and then he got 40-year-old man knees that are clicking and clacking every time he takes a step. No.
What was he thinking? And then
he was thinking touchdown.
And then it was he wasn't thinking because how retarded to jump on somebody's back like that for one. I mean, come on, you're saying you hit it right in that the guy's a little dude. Aaron Rodgers in NFL is by no means a big guy, and then he tackles him from behind without him knowing. Aaron Rodgers does his little jump of joy, whatever that stupid thing he does is, and then after that, and then after Broderick hit him. It was funny because Aaron Rodgers' face was so red, and you could see he was pissed off before he even stood up. And he gets up, and I don't know what it was. I could watch that over and over.
That was the hardest hit Rodgers took all night long, too. Broderick Jones is quietly having a pretty good season for himself, and he goes and does this.
I could watch that all day. You know what's
great.
And the thing is, every time I see his face, he's he's on the ground and he kind of prepares for impact. And then once he realizes he's not getting hit. You know, I think he thought that Broderick was going to fall on him. Yeah, you could see his face is all red. And he gets up and he's just so pissed. And that's for some reason I belly laugh every time when I see his face when I see him that angry. I laugh out loud every time, dude. That is
the pissed off dad face of the kid who's horsing around and takes it too fucking far. You know, Aaron had to know it was Broderick when he felt someone on his back. At first, I thought he was going to jump, hug, and slide off and shake him. And he just jumped, held on, and
I've never seen that. Listen, if he injured a quarterback or something, it would be a whole different story. But the fact that it's not is hilarious, and I could watch that.
And that's Broderick Jones, man. He's either 100% giddy and happy or 100% ready to fuck someone up after a play and take a stupid penalty.
And just 20 seconds before that, he kind of grabs Aaron and he's shaking him real hard.
I thought that's all he was going to do.
Classic.
You know there's going to be a film room. Broderick, we don't do this. We don't jump on the old man.
Broderick Jones versus the world is what Tortilla is saying.
He's been playing good too. He's been playing good.
Jamal says 31st in the NFL. What the fuck, man? Tyrone says wasn't just TJ. LOL. Did you not see the rest of the defense? Mr. Tummy says home teams have historically had a winning record on Thursday Night Football, winning 55 to 58% of the games. Mark Malone saying the great secondary master will get it figured out. Don't worry. Somber says secondary has been cooked for almost a decade. We just hide it with splash. That's an interesting way to put it, Somber. Tyrone says Ramsey burnt toast. Queen was lost out there. Whole D line was whack, and they better be doing better. I couldn't agree with you more, dude. Follows it up by saying, I'm sorry, Tortilla. Tortilla says if Broderick Jones blocked as hard as he celebrates, he would be a star. The Dallas Cowboys defense is better than ours. What the fuck? Yeah. Dallas got their own issues too, as well, though. They got their own problems. Looking good though. I mean,
yeah,
they got the best offense in the league.
It's hard to think, like, in 2020 we were the number 2 passing defense in the league to now we're 31st.
What do we have? Steven Nelson was basically all we had back. Steven Nelson and Minka Fitzpatrick.
In what to say, 2020?
Or wait, Levi Wallace. It wasn't even Steven Nelson yet, was it?
Yeah, I'm pulling up that team real quick because it's going to bug me until we figure this out.
Darwin says on Thursday the front seven didn't generate no pressure, could stop the run. Why? Sure, okay, so we did get that. Where am I at here? Here we are. Tortilla. Tomlin's wife doesn't have enough time to write up the game plan for him on short weeks.
Here's our secondary: Joe Hayden, Steven Nelson, Terrell Edmonds, Minka Fitzpatrick.
What is it?
In 2020, we had Hayden, Nelson, Edmonds, and Fitzpatrick.
Oh, that was a good defense.
That was a good secondary.
Hayden and Fitzpatrick, Nelson, and who else? Edmonds.
Hayden, Nelson, Edmonds, and Minka.
Merlin and Somber and Tyrone all agreeing that the PFF is crap. I've been preaching that for years. I'm just glad that they're giving us smoking guns. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm just saying it to say it. Come on, guys. Scotty Miller and Brandon Eccles, both in the top 5 performances for the game this past weekend. Vegas is white. I don't know what the white privilege is referring to. I'm not sure.
the Scotty Miller.
Oh, the Scotty
grade.
Tortilla says it's PFF hiring. You know what?
Right?
Everybody on this board would be beneficial to PFF, believe me.
No, we would give the Steelers too high of a grade. We'd be like, and they would have to fire us. We give TJ Watt a good grade and be like, you're done.
Tyrone says, yeah, that's just wrong. Mark Malone, yeah, I didn't know Miller even caught one. You know what? After I thought about it, I remembered, but he had that one catch. I forget what Mike said, like 7 yards, give or take.
1 for 9.
1 for 9.
I think his stat line's 2 catches for 9 yards for the entire year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he was almost as great as high as Aaron Rodgers.
And PFF has him as one of the lowest graded quarterbacks in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Come on,
really comical.
Yeah. Let's see right here. Jamal says somber. Ain't nobody scared of Golden. JPJ on his ass. Vegas says I'd get fired if I worked there for sure. PFF. Yeah, because you try to do things right in numbers that make sense. Somber says, remember you said that when he gets burnt. 20 Tyrone says we worried about it. 24 clamps. I know 24 clamps. Jamal says I bet Golden won't score. Vegas says they are giving him a high grade for not doing anything, so it justifies when they give Myles Garrett high grades for nothing. That's right. Didn't he have he had a higher grade last week for doing nothing?
Yeah, for like 2 assisted tackles.
Let me do a couple more, Mike, and we are going to get into a couple other things here. I do want to get through scores. I do want to get through divisions. I do want to get through all that, guys. And also going to look at the Steelers' next 4 games and take a look at all those things here, Mike. As we're coming up on the hour and a half mark of the show. Tortilla says PFF is ran by Uber drivers. Tyrone says that's if they even put him on watch Ramsey. Jamal PFF is racist. You know what?
Well, the thing is, like, they favor the white guys on offense and the black guys on defense.
What?
Because Scotty Miller does nothing, gets the high grade on offense. Myles Garrett did nothing on defense and got the high grade on defense.
Okay. I'm just trying to make it make sense. But to me, I think a better example would have been T.J. Watt having a better numbers than Myles Garrett, and Myles Garrett having the higher
that
record.
worked.
But
Scotty Miller was on my mind.
We'll all be trying to figure that one out for a few hours. But you know what?
Hey.
Vegas says, what was Chase's grade? 1,324.7.
Like if he didn't have like a perfect grade, their grading system.
He probably had a lower. Yeah, he probably had a shitty grade. I don't know. PFF. Somber says, I don't think the JPJ will even be on him. Maybe Dobbs because of the size advantage. Tyrone says we'll see. We'll see F's. Tyrone says Giants kicker so trash. Scott says Steelers have a quarterback that will get you 24 to 31 points, and the defense isn't complimenting it. Vegas says I have 5 guys yet to play today, but I doubt they're getting 70 combined.
You lost, but I won. Take the L.
All right, let's do jump, Mike. I do want to talk about some of these other games real quick. We will get back to the Steelers, and I will get back to the board real soon. I don't want to leave anybody out on this Monday, Mike, getting prepared. We have 7 days. We're down to. We got through the first weekend, of course, after the loss on Thursday. We knew it was going to be a long weekend.
Yeah.
Watching football, watching other teams play, and getting through the weekend after our loss. But here we are. We're back at day one like everybody else. We have Monday Night Football tonight to wrap it up. Tampa Bay at Detroit. This is a 7 o'clock game. In Houston at Seattle is the 10 o'clock game. That's right, 10 o'clock start, guys. Out west, they'll be loving it, man. Let's get on to the results for this week's on this week's scoreboard, Mike. So far at this point, the first game of the week was us and Bengals. We're going to skip over that. Guys, the Rams at the Jaguars were the early game on Sunday morning over in London. The Rams did win that game 35-7, Mike. Your boy, Matt Stafford having a big day. Yeah. 5 touchdowns pass. 182 yards. Wasn't so great in the yards, but it's still 5 touchdowns. I will take that, Mike, because that's points.
Yep.
35. All 35 of the points were Matt Stafford touchdown passes.
That's insane. And people were worried if he would be able to play this year, how bad his back was messed up in the preseason, not knowing what was going on.
You kept saying that in the offseason.
That was like the big worry around the NFL, and now he's playing at a high level again.
I wasn't worried a bit. I thought he was going to be fine, and look at him. There he goes, Mike. Here we go. So the next game on the list would be the first 1 o'clock game on Sunday. The Eagles beat the Vikings. I think the Vikings aren't quite as good as they were last year after Sam Darnold exited, Mike. But I think this is a game that the Eagles needed to win to get back on track. They were, they took the loss to the Giants. Mm-hmm. Definitely looking more beatable, Mike. They beat the Vikings 28-22.
Yeah, their offense needed that game too.
They sure did. This next game, the New England Patriots, Mike, is this Patriots team real? They're finding ways to win football games. They're sitting at 5-2, Mike. This New England Patriots team, 31-13 over the Titans. Is this a team that wins a game in January?
I don't know.
Okay,
to be honest with you, I don't know. This was the Titans. The Titans were they're a terrible team, but they went down there and took care of business. But, if they keep running out Stevens as their number one running back, he can fumble a game away. I think Drake May can win you a playoff game, but can the supporting cast around him on offense live up to their end of the mark?
I agree, Mike. This Panthers and Jets game. This game was the first game of the day that screwed me on my picks. The Panthers win this one 13-6, Mike. I am no longer going to systematically pick against the Panthers as they get their third or fourth win.
Fourth win.
Mike, they're 4-3, the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And they they chase Justin Fields out of the lineup. They bring in Typhoid Mary, and they just couldn't get more than 6 points, Mike. The Jets lose to the Carolina Panthers 13-6.
The Jets played their best game on offense and defense in week 1 and have not been the same since.
Yeah.
And Carolina, they're a scrappy little team.
Yeah, you got to like what they got going on. So we'll continue to follow them, Mike. And again, 4-3. I did not expect Carolina to be after 7 games.
No, if Bryce Young was about 6 inches taller, he'd be a whole lot better quarterback.
You're right. This one here surprised a lot of people, Mike. I don't think it surprised me because I thought that the winner was going to go this way. I thought Cleveland was going to win. I just didn't know that they were going to beat the Dolphins 31-6. Mike, that's the surprise for me. The score not so much because Cleveland does got a defense, and Miami's not that good. They're not a good football team. They haven't been for a long time. They try to sell us on this Tua. They try to sell us on this. I don't buy that BS, Mike. This Dolphins team loses to a bad Browns team 31-6.
It's a very, very bad performance from Miami. They're like the entire team quit from coach on down. Tua hasn't been the same since he was throwing up gang signs on the field. So, like, he hasn't, man. He took those 2 hits to the head, scrambled his brain. He wasn't that good to begin with.
And the coach, they just got it's a shit. It's a shit.
Yeah, the coach is a good offense. I think he'd be a good offense coordinator. He's not a head coach.
I agree. The next game, Mike, the Bears. Watch out for those boys from Chicago down in the Windy City, Mike. They are 4-2 after beating the Saints 26-14. Mike, is the Caleb Williams? Is this? Of course, the Spencer Rattler was this competition, but Caleb Williams, Mike, is again 15 for 26, not that great, 172 yards and only an interception, no touchdowns. But Mike, is the Caleb Williams era again 4-2 for a Bears team after 6 games is pretty good.
It is pretty good, man. He's been hot or cold. He'll have a good game, a bad game, good game, bad game. He didn't do enough to lose this game, but he wasn't the part why they won. But he's some games he looks amazing, some games he doesn't. But they actually went out and built a team this year. Last year they drafted him and get a bunch of guys at wide receiver and no offensive line. This year they went out and built an offensive line. They're not a bad team. I did not think they would be 4-3 this year. At this juncture, I thought maybe 6 wins total for this team, a step in the right direction. But look out, baby, 500 for the Bears, man. It might happen.
This next game is so embarrassing on so many levels. Geno Smith in the Raiders, Mike. Smith throws for 67 yards total before putting Kenny in. He gets 8 yards. The phenom running back, Ashton Genty, of course, runs the ball 6 times for a total of 21 yards for the day for their leading rushing. 21 yards for leading rushing, Mike. This Raiders team, they lose 31-0 to a surging Kansas City Chiefs team, Mike. 2-5, the Raiders fall. The Chiefs improved to 4-3. What a bad team.
Dude, they went out and spent, $60 million on Geno Smith? Everyone thought it was the poor line play of Seattle last year. I think Geno Smith finally hit his expiration date. I think he finally wrote back. That his career's done. He looks terrible. He looked worse yesterday than he did in his first start with the Jets. How many years ago? This team is bad. And Kenny Pickett comes in his very first play. He fumbles. The kid can't catch a break.
You expect anything else from Kenny Pickett?
No.
Now, the thing that surprised people was the fact that this big time running back came out and Mike, he got 21 yards total.
Dude,
Again, I think that's more of the story. The other guy, I don't think it was a surprise that he fumbled the ball. But again,
Landon
Roberts, look at it this way.
Tackles.
Who was what's that?
Landon Roberts, 18 tackles.
Jeez. And look at it this way, Genty has Kenny Pickett as quarterback, so did Najee Harris. So it isn't like
these guys can't win.
We didn't have a whole lot of great things going on at the Raiders. You see what I'm saying? Also, Mike,
Genty's like, give me some fireworks stat.
Mike, this here is a statistic. The Raiders ran 30 plays in the game yesterday. 30. Now let me make that make sense to you guys. That is the second fewest amount ever ran by an offense in the NFL. They had 3 first downs, Mike, 3 first downs all game. That, Mike, them 30 offensive plays is only second to the Cleveland Browns in 1999, the expansion game, the 43-0 to the Pittsburgh Steelers lost to open up the season in Cleveland. Drew Carey, Cleveland Rocks, Richard Huntley, all that going on. Mike, that was the lowest amount of offensive plays ever in the history of the NFL. 28. The Raiders yesterday, 30 offensive plays.
Dude, they had 95 yards of total offense. They only had the ball for 17 minutes and 52 seconds.
Yeah.
The Chiefs at 42-08 to 1752. That is insane.
And this is a Chiefs team that's not as good as Chiefs teams in the past, so put that into consideration as well. Let's see, Mike. Let's get into some other games as we do.
I knew that was a bad game by the Raiders. I didn't realize it was that bad till diving into the numbers just now.
It was real. It was the worst game ever.
Holy shit!
Mike, they had 60. I can't listen. Let's move on. The Colts, the Chargers. This was a good game, 38-24. Mike, we're going to see both of these teams in the next 3 weeks. As soon as the Packers game is out of the way, we do move on to play the Colts and then the Chargers. So again, this was a good game. A lot of air yards, Mike, especially by the losing quarterback, as Justin Herbert throws for 420 yards on 37 completed passes out of 55. He went 37-55, 420, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. No running backs, Mike. The running game for the Chargers is minimal. The leading rusher for the Chargers in this game was Justin Herbert as well, with 6 carries, 31 yards. Mike, the running back high was 20 yards carried on nine rushes. So
they're what out of their top 2 running backs.
Yeah, they have nothing now. Both of their running backs are done for the season.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, that their injuries really hit them hard, Mike. The quarterback, again, 420 yards. He did well. And then over in the other game, Danny Dimes, he goes 23 for 34 for 288 and 2 touchdowns. Of course, Jonathan Taylor just under 100 yards with 94 yards rushing on a day. We'll get a big dose of them next week, guys. Let's see. Let's move down the chart, Mike. After the Colts and the Chargers. Again, if it can quit just starting over at the top and making me scroll all the way back down, would be great.
Right. It'll be too easy for you.
We're gonna go right here. Right here.
Right here.
No, right here.
Okay.
All right, right there. The Giants and the Broncos, of course, Mike. This game, how many points did the Broncos score in the fourth quarter?
33.
33 points, Mike. Were they down 32-0 in the fourth quarter? Is what you're saying?
I may have misread it, but they were down at least 13 at one point.
Okay.
Hold on, they were down 19-0 at one point.
So there you go, guys. The Giants, not like
26-8 was the biggest margin.
I'm not really sure what to make of either of these teams just yet. Now the Giants are kind of using their young talent. I'm liking what I'm seeing there. And then also, Mike, the Broncos, not quite the same as they were last year. Again, kind of backslid a little bit.
Yeah.
But they still sit in the number 3 seed. They do hold that division right now. The Broncos are up top, so say what you will. Packers at the Cardinals last night, Mike, the team that we play next, of course, the Green Bay Packers. They managed to Jordan Love went 19 for 29 for 179 yards. Nothing great. A touchdown. Jacobs, 13 carries for 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, of course, Dobbs, he has 6 catches, 72 yards, no touchdowns. Kraft did have a touchdown receiving.
Yeah,
again, there's nothing about this team that really it scares me. They're a good team. I acknowledge that. I respect them. I give them their credit. But I'm not afraid of Green Bay. I'm
not either. They were a lot of people's, Super Bowl favorite this year. Come out of the North, come out of the NFC, and get that Super Bowl. A very inconsistent play from Love this year. He's not turning the ball over, but he's not, putting up big yardage one week and next week he will. Like I said, like Tucker Kraft, man, he's the X factor of that offense. Big tight end who can play all over the field. He's going to be rough. And Micah Parsons did have a breakout game. He did have 3 sacks this game. Is that a sign of him coming out of his shell up there, or is it, like you said, just about time he's going to have one of those games?
He's due. I mean, come on, the money the guy makes, he makes more than anybody else in the freaking league. He better have a game. Come on, right?
Yep.
Glad it was this week and hopefully not next week. But certainly that'll be something that is on our plate, guys. We will be seeing Micah Parsons, Mike, heading in on Sunday night, of course. I got to be honest with you, Mike. One of the things I'm most excited about is the jerseys, the uniforms. I like this fact that it is going to be a throwback game between the Steelers and the Packers. We're going to see the old jerseys, the old, and again, the old men with, of course, Aaron Rodgers out there at quarterback for the Steelers. I'm looking forward to this. And again, I'm not afraid of Green Bay at all.
Me either. Yeah, I respect them to where, they can win the game, but nothing really scares me.
Right. That's where I'm at as well. Let's get back at it, Mike. Again, I'm playing the Rolodex on my phone here. Oh no, that time was ready for me. The next game was the Cowboys 44, the Commanders 22. Number 1 offense in the league, Mike. Dallas. I don't see Dallas winning a Super Bowl, but I can see Dallas making some noise in January. They do have the offense, Mike. But at the end of the day, there's something about Dallas. Yeah, I just can't buy into it.
Neither can I. And Dak's a great regular season quarterback, but the minute you get into the playoffs, he hasn't shined. And how long can George Pickens keep it together down there? First game where CD Lamb has more catches, more touches, more touchdowns than him. Is he going to be fine? He already snapped earlier this year. Can he keep it together? If he can, that team has a pretty good offense down there. But like I said, man, I just don't trust Dak in the playoffs. He's like Tony Romo. He's like Kirk Cousins. Great in the regular season. Come playoff time, they choke.
Mike, the last game for the weekend, of course, before the games tonight, the 49ers, they beat the Falcons. The Falcons were kind of surging, a couple big wins in a row.
Mm-hmm.
They finally lose to San Francisco. San Francisco, it's going to be a little bit better than I thought they were, Mike. I knew that the injuries early in the season were going to be an issue, but still this 49ers team not losing a lot of football games early on. So I look for them to be a team that's certainly around come the end of December, heading into January, vying for their spot, Mike, of course. And then in the NFC, they are still the number 3 seed overall, leading that division. So San Francisco, the win over Atlanta. Let me pull up some divisions, Mike. We'll take a look at divisions, and we'll get back to the board as we are. It's already, man. Mondays go fast.
They do.
A lot of tests. We're trying to get so much
talked
in.
about. That's why.
That really is. This is what our divisions look like right now, Mike. The AFC East has the Patriots in first place, 5-2. Half game behind them, the Bills are 4-2. In second place, the Dolphins 1-6, and the Jets 0-7. The two bottom teams in the division, Mike, a total record of 1-13. I can't imagine why.
Must be nice.
How the Patriots were so good all those years.
It must be nice.
Well, it is almost as nice for us, so don't talk too early. I'm looking at our division next, Mike. The AFC North, Steelers 4-2 up top. The Bengals a game and a half behind at 3-4. The Browns 2-5, and the Ravens 1-5. Mike, the teams in our division, the two teams at the bottom, have a combined record of 3-10. So not much worse, but nonetheless.
Yeah, but that Ravens team, man, they can turn it around better.
That's what I've been saying since day one.
Dolphins. So.
It depends who you ask, because other people would tell you otherwise. I've been saying this Raven team is going to turn it around. Wait till they start playing the Dolphins. Wait till they start playing these teams. They're going to get it. They'll be back. AFC South, Mike, the Colts, of course, are ahead of that division. They are 6-1. The Jaguars 4-3. The Texans 2-3, and finally the Titans with 1-6. And then in the AFC West, the Broncos 5-2, the Chargers 4-3, the Chiefs 4-3, and the lowly Raiders 2-5. Mike, we said that at the beginning, that division it's going to come down to it. It's going to be a battle between those three teams. Nothing has changed.
And the Chargers have the tiebreaker of they're 3-0 in the division right now.
They are. They started off 3-0 in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
The NFC East, Mike, the Eagles with their win, they're back up 5-2. They are ahead of in that division. Cowboys at 3-1 with the tie to the Packers, has them at 3-1. Commanders 3-4, and the Giants at 2-5. The NFC North, of course, who the Steelers play this year, the Packers 4-1-1. The Lions 4-2 will get them this year. The Bears 4-2 will get them this year. And the Vikings, they are 3-3. The best team in the NFC, Mike, is the team that leads the NFC South. Mm-hmm. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-1. They are the only team that has a 5-1 record, Mike, in the NFC. Panthers in second place. That's right, Carolina 4-3. Wow. The Falcons 3-3, and then the Saints at 1-6. And finally, the NFC West, Mike, the 49ers sit at 5-2. They have the slight edge over the Rams, who are also 5-2. The Seattle Seahawks 4-2, who they play tonight, and the Cardinals are 2-5 on the season. Mike, the games tonight: Tampa Bay at Detroit. That's a 7:00 start on Monday Night Football, and also the late game, the Houston Texans at Seattle, is the 10:00 start. Both Monday Night Football games tonight.
Some tight divisions, man. Some tight divisions. Some teams playing a whole lot or have a better record than I thought they would. Now, like the Bears, who would have thought they would have been this high?
No, you're right.
It's just preseason narrative, man, is not holding strong for a lot of teams.
No, you're right, man. Let's get back to the board, Mike, because we are pressed on time, and I do want to get a lot of these in before we even do move forward here. Somber says Ramsey is not an outside corner anymore. You know what? You get to that age. It's a young man's league, man. Tyrone says nope, he's Slaughter's safety. Tortilla says we too old, bro. Also, Somber, knowing them, they wouldn't score though. Tortilla, Yeah, we probably wouldn't have punted into their field goal. Somber, I agree. Take the 7. Count on the D to get the stop. The D's the worst part of this team is all I was trying to say. Again, I don't know if I'm putting it all on my defense at this point in the year. You want to, but we see how that played out. We get a little bit past these because there are a lot here. Let's see. John says JPJ should be covering the number 1 receiver. The problem is he isn't a number 1 corner. All name, no game. Tyrone says maybe defense can stop a cold. Maybe if the defense can stop a cold. Mark Malone, what's up, bro? Always great seeing Mark. He says with Tomlin as coach, it probably would have been wise to stop Shy. Followed it up with a competent coach. You could take the points every time. Kenneth says, what's up, man? Great seeing you, Kenneth, on this Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend, man. Tortilla says, I should have. Okay, gotcha on that. Christophus, my man. Christophus says, where is the so-called wide receiver 2 trade that Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport reported the Steelers are going to make soon? We do have 2 weeks from tomorrow, though, Christophus. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks from tomorrow.
They're on the Mark Caboli timeline.
Yeah, they are on the Mark Caboli timeline. 2 weeks from tomorrow will be the trade deadline. So we'll see. We'll see. Tyrone says average. He got 4 sacks, pick, fumble, recover. We're good. Mark Malone says Watt Power needs the power of Grayskull. A He-Man reference. Somber says Sauce Garner just got hurt. Scott says Steelers' game plan was to let them score, and Aaron Rodgers would get back out there to get us back in the lead. And it was just the timing was terrible for that game plan. That's all. Because if we didn't play the time smart, they were going to play the time smart, and I would rather have it in my hand as the clock is running out. John says the Steelers' D is outdated and easy to prepare for. It's widely said around the league. And that is well known throughout the NFL. The team also picks up old-ass cast-offs from other teams, hoping for fountain of youth play. Not happening. Tortilla says they were probably tired after Ireland and just got beat. I expect them to look better with 10 days, but we will see. You know what? It did help us, Mike. It helped us on the bye week, the extra days off. So maybe we could take that same approach going into Green Bay as we did with Cleveland.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. But time will tell, my friend. Time will tell.
Tyrone says, "We're at home. We got this." Scott says that game was like the playoff losses, but Aaron have us a lead. Aaron is a difference maker, and the Steelers D has to have his back. Aaron changed people's minds on the teammate that he is. You're right. At what point is the defense going to start doing what they're supposed to do? When are we going to say, "Wow, this is a good defense"? I think we could all admit now that it's not going to be that greatest defense ever that they were spewing in the preseason. But at some point, when are we going to be satisfied with what we're seeing on our defense? Exactly. I'm not even saying that it should be dominant. I'm just saying let's not let up 100+ yards to the worst running team in the league.
They need to get back to a top 10 scoring defense, and they do that. This team's going to be in a really good situation because the way the offense is going. Who would have thought at this point in the year we would be so much more comfortable with the offense than the defense?
Not me. Not me at all. Tortilla says apparently we just need to throw to Miller Lightskin. I like that. I like that. John says the offense is carrying the team. That shouldn't be happening. You wouldn't have thought, man. It's just like Mike said, Mark Malone, I would have thought. In fact, I did think. Mark Malone, some bastards wanted to bring back Fields or Wilson. I mean, you got to admit, playing for a better franchise certainly helps. I don't know. I mean, you could go on and on about coaches and debate that, but again, teams, look what these quarterbacks. Justin Fields was 4-2. Justin Fields was the same record as Aaron Rodgers is right now in Pittsburgh last year. After the first 6 games in New York, he's 0-6. So it's a winning. We have a winning culture. Believe it or not. Vegas says, didn't Kenny have 12 touchdown passes and 25 star? I don't know. Probably. Sounds right. Mark Malone says, hopefully Calvin Austin III could turn it on. That's right. We're supposed to see some Calvin Austin III back this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Tyrone says, yeah, Calvin coming back huge. Vegas says, is telling someone they look like the Hey Kool-Aid Man a compliment.
It all depends.
It all depends.
All depends.
Christopher says if Benton is still at nose tackle against Green Bay, Carl Dunbar and Terrell Austin need to be fired. At least Y.A. Black could have bat down some of those slant passes to Jamar Chase. Christopher says Benton gives us nothing. I can't disagree with you. I've been saying it for a couple seasons now, and I was expecting Mike after seeing some life early out of him, seeing a little bit better season this year. We're just not seeing that from him,
especially after the last two games he played against Minnesota and Cleveland, looking like he was trending in the right direction. But everyone else had a bad game this week, so we'll see if he.
How many years are we going to give the guy though? You know, at some point,
it's only his third year in the league,
and he hasn't lived up to anything in any of the first couple years. Would have liked to seen something from him. Mike, I've seen nothing. Mark Malone, Magnum would have put up 35 touchdowns. I thought Rodgers would hit 42. Scott said every playoff team is going to just throw the ball on the Steelers' defenses and mixed in with the run, with the lead. How many decades do the Steelers see this with the Steelers? I agree. We don't change many things. And as I said, we have a winning culture and we win a lot of football games. But the things that bring us losses, unfortunately, they don't change either. I think you could go through 2 decades of games against New England and confirm that. Somber says the immaculate piggyback ride.
I like it.
Tortilla says Broderick Jones has a career in the WWE. Vegas says it's starting to go downhill after that failed flea flicker. How do you have a play miscommunications on a trick play? What the fuck? Scott says Big Ben covered up so much bad play by the defense. You're right. And it wasn't like the defense was bad, but when it was, Ben makes that go a lot better.
Oh, yeah. There were. I remember those games with the Killer Bees. They would put up monster points, and the defense would just blow a late lead, and everyone would blame the offense. It's comical.
Tortilla says Broderick is so used to seeing his quarterback get tackled, his instincts kicked in, and he blacked out.
Yeah. He said, why is he running happy? No, down and sad.
Vegas says nobody had bitter beer face when getting up from a tackle like Chase Claypool. He looked like he was hurt every play. Tortilla says, I wonder what was said on the sideline in the film room when Broderick tackled him. Man, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to watch it again today. I'm sure of it. Vegas says, has Broderick Jones been playing well enough to pick up the 5th year? He's not looking bad. He's improved. Ish, kinda, sorta, in a way, but not really. I don't know if I'm picking him up on that 5th year, Mike. Again, he's looking better this year. I give him that.
He is looking better. I'm going to see if I can pull up to see what the cost would be.
Vegas says I think they tried to confuse Joe by leaving everyone open. I love that approach. Let's confuse their offense. Let's just let everybody open. They're not going to know what to do. John says no splash sacks plus no turnovers equals A. Steelers D in trouble. Vegas says Edmonds was pretty good at tackling. Way after the catch, I bet his PFF grade would be amazing. TJ Watt is black. What do you mean? Tortilla's saying. Vegas says the all-22 is even worse. Chase could have had 20 catches easily. I agree. Tyrone says, funny how the defense won our games last 5 years. Now we got offense they want to sell. It's crazy how that works. When can we, Mike? When can we yin yang? When can we
right, have that balance?
When can we have the balance of yin and yang?
We really haven't had a balanced offense and defense in a long time. And think about it, because we were paying a lot of money, Ben, Bell, AB in the O line, and then that defense, had some guys on there, some good contracts, but it's places with guys the way the offense has been now. And it's swung ever since Ben retired. It's all swung to the defense. And they got to find it's not going to be a perfect 50-50 balance, but it's got to be something better than what we have now here. And Broderick Jones' 5th-year option would be almost $20 million, like $19.9 million. So you paying Brojo $20 million a year? That's what they got to figure out.
I'm not, but Tortilla says Steelers could only focus on one thing at a time, and that's sure the way that it seems Can never have all three things going good at once. Vegas says Stafford got an epidural. Tyrone says Gino's done. Tortilla says I'm tell my kids about the time Geno Smith robbed Vegas. Somber said same with Quinn Ewers in Miami, looked horrible. Mark Malone, I'm worried about Tomlin won't be able to contain dimes. You know what? It's not out of the question, guys. Again, we'll worry about that next week. Let's focus on Corey Love. I'm sorry. Focus on Love burning us this week. Again, Packers Sunday night, guys. Mark Malone, he says, even with the highest paid D in the league. Derpy, what up, brother? Great seeing Derpy on the board. Even better seeing him with the shirt on. Echelon Motion Picture says, I don't want to hear he's a head case because that seemed to not be a problem with the Cowboys. It's Pittsburgh. We are the problem. That's why we're stuck at 9-8 every single year. But
he was crashing out 3 games ago.
But again, also Echelon, the Cowboys are the only team in the NFC that hasn't sniffed the NFC Championship game in 30 years. So I don't know if the Cowboys are a great team to write home about. Again, they are the only NFC team that has not been in the NFC Championship game in 30 years.
And don't forget, it's a contract year for George Pickens.
You know what? I think I missed the first one here. Let me grab this. Echelon says it's really starting. I'm really starting to hate Tomlin and the Steelers offense in terms of wide receiver. Let's see. You telling me you couldn't keep George Pickens happy with 6-7 targets a game? You could have had DK and George, scary combo. I'm beginning to wonder if Aaron Rodgers had anything to do with that ultimately making that decision, because again, it happened after the initial meeting with Aaron. Then he went and disappeared and all those kind of things. So
it happened after the signing of DK too.
Yeah,
they
so I'm
signed
just wondering.
DK, and the shit happened behind the scenes with Pickens.
I'm just wondering, is maybe Aaron said, you know what, I don't want a guy that's going to be a nut. I don't want to have to deal with that. If this is going to be an issue, I'm not going to play. Maybe that ultimately, again, I don't know, because again, what Echelon's saying, it's true. It doesn't really make much sense.
But
for having one incident, it's going to send you to another team. That's crazy.
Not one. He had a lot of crash outs last year. A lot of shit. He was fine. After his rookie year, like
Deontay Johnson, we kept him around years after he was doing
but they end up
shit.
getting rid of him too.
Well, years after his stupidness. So
again,
we to have this guy just. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm saying we've cleaned house all off season from anyone that was causing any type of issue, and the team has been playing well.
This year,
this off season, yeah. We got rid of Minka. We got rid of DK, guys that would be a little bit of mouthy, and they cleaned house, and that's a good thing. This locker room is a whole hell of a lot better than what it was last year.
I mean, that's debatable again, because you're bringing in people, Mike, who are traditionally a bit of a pain in the ass in the locker room. Like Jalen Ramsey. I mean, these guys they got mouths as well, so it's hard to say. To me, it seems like it feels like Aaron Rodgers had his hands in it. I don't know. I can't confirm. That's just my opinion. Let's do a move forward, though, Mike, because we are running out of time. We still have quite a few things to get into here. Echelon says we constantly make excuses for this team. It's getting ridiculous. In a capacity, I agree with you. Scott says it would be nice to have the Steelers defense at a even kill. The defense is Jekyll and Hyde. They are world beaters or bend over artists. I'll take just the top 10, 15 on average every game. Echelon says Steelers defense makes every offense look like 2007 Patriots. He follows it up by saying that that defense softer than a Permane Brothers sandwich left in the sun. I mean, who am I to argue? Tortilla says it's like we built our team on Amazon, and it came in, and when it came in the mail, it was broken. That kind of was what it feels like, right? Christopher says Aaron is finding his groove with Calvin Austin, the third back, in the play of our tight ends. 40 burger from this offense. Ooh. Let's hope the defense doesn't give up 41. I tend to think that Green Bay's offense is better than Cincinnati, so we will see, guys. We have to figure some stuff out. Somber says it's almost like the team is afraid to get younger because they can't evaluate and develop players correctly. They just sign other teams' has-beens. That's what's been going on. Tortilla says Pickens probably called Tomlin gay or something. I don't know. Just again, to have that much talent, they kept Antonio Brown around for years and years, and he was a pain in the ass, and a lot of players actually. Echelon says DK is literally a head case. I don't understand. Have people not seen him on the Seahawks? It's just confused. I agree.
But he's not doing anything here. He's not doing anything to
Well, he's only been here for 3 games. I mean,
hey, he's not.
Give him time. Season's far from over. Tortilla says, yeah, Broderick can't tackle Rodgers. If Pickens tackles him first, should have kept him. Yeah, Broderick can't tackle Rodgers. If Pickens tackles him. Oh, I see what you're saying with Pickens. And then Ashlyn says, I'm all convinced we lose a lot on defense solely off of ego. Example, Jamar Chase and Ramsey. Ramsey certainly showed that he can't keep up with Jamar Chase. It's no secret. There was nothing. Give me a good excuse on what happened on Thursday night with Jalen Ramsey on coverage, please. I would like to know if anybody has that, Mike. And also one more thing I do want to get into just briefly, because tomorrow we're going to pull up the results from the CBS Pick'ems, Mike. This is what things are looking like as of right now on the week. RB still at the top. Like, he's been on top for weeks. RB has 12 points this week. Vegas has 11. Finch and Cody and Corey all have 10. Richard, me, and yourself have 9. And Derpy actually have 9. Phil still has 8. Jamal, 4. Tyrone, you got to get your picks in, man. And then also for the season, as of right now, this will change by tomorrow. But this is the season. Mike, right now, RB is up. He has 76 points. He's in the lead. Vegas has 73. Finch has 69. Cody has 66. Corey has 65. Why is it like that? Okay, here we go. RB 76, Vegas 73, Finch 69, Cody 66, Corey 65. Richard also has 69. I have 66. Why? I don't know why it jumps around like this. Mike, you have 65. Derpy has 64. Phil has 56. Jamal has 20. So, guys, we will get the results from this week tomorrow in its entirety after these 2 Monday night games tonight. Again, Tampa Bay at Detroit, 7 o'clock start tonight. And Houston at Seattle is the 10 o'clock start tonight, guys. Let me see a couple things here. Okay, yeah, I just want to keep up on that. Also, Mike, so we are going to get into the trivia here in just 1 second. Let me just say these couple things. We do have a couple other football teams that do play here in Western Pennsylvania, like the Pitt Panthers. They beat Syracuse for the 3rd straight year in 7 of the last 8 and 20 of the last 24 years. Mike, they beat Syracuse 30-13. As they're looking good in the conference, they get NC State next at home, like Saturday at 3:30. Penn State falls again. 4 in a row. They lose this one to Iowa, Mike. 0-4 in the Big Ten. They have number 1 Ohio State next week. It's not looking good because after that, I think they have somebody good again in Indiana. Penn State is going down and going down fast.
It must suck being a Penn State fan. It sucks.
You know what? And you were joking about the SEC the other day. Like, just keep in mind that Florida State, who is the worst team, the worst team in the ACC, beat Alabama, who is the best team in the SEC.
Right?
So pick wisely, have fun.
Like, I can't root for the ACC. I don't like the ACC at all.
I don't like the ACC either. I never
like
did.
Any teams over there.
I'm a Big East guy.
I don't like anyone in the SEC. I guess
you like Big Ten. I just can't. I never understand.
I like Penn State just because
half a brain could like that conference. It's such an elitist. It's such an. You always bragged about the conference, Big Ten.
Yeah,
Big Ten.
because my team was when I supported a team that was in the Big Ten.
But now they're getting killed by everybody in that conference. What's going on?
I know. I got to find out.
They might not win a division. They might not win a conference game, Mike.
I'm rooting for Kent State now. I'm taking my alma mater. That's my new favorite team. We suck, and I know it. 0 expectations, baby.
A couple of the Mike, there was somebody at the Athletic. The Athletic did project Pitt and Penn State to play in the Pinstripe Bowl, but Penn State keeps losing, so it
ain't gonna happen.
That's not going to happen. I would have loved it. I would have taken the trip to the Bronx, Mike. You and we could have took a trip up there to watch that game, but of course, Penn State has a long way to go if they want that to happen.
Alabama jersey.
And Alabama. I wear my Florida State jersey. How's that?
Wait, so Penn State's backup quarterback last year, he entered the portal. He's at, I think, Mizzou. I'm going to be a Missouri fan the rest of the year.
Never heard of them. I'm sure they'll
Me
do well.
either.
I'm sure
But,
they'll do. I'm sure they'll do great.
We're going with Misso.
Mike, also the other football team here in town, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they get a 3-0 win over Monterey Bay FC. They will be hosting Phoenix Rising on Saturday at 7 o'clock. And finally, another 3-0 win, Mike, on Saturdays. The Penguins beat the Sharks. They shut them out 3-0. They will be hosting Vancouver tomorrow night. Penguins won 2 of 3 games in California. Kind of an uncharacteristic ride for any Pennsylvania team, Pittsburgh team, to head out to California and win more than you lose, Mike. Penguins go out there. They'd sit at 4-2 at the moment as they get ready for the Canucks tomorrow.
Nice. Let's go Pens.
Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, and we will get into the trivia, and we're going to get ready to wrap things up, man, as we were rounding third, huh?
The 2dumbyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. We got all of our social media links over there. The merch store over there. In Vanilla Thunder's Dump Box. Check it out. The 2dumbyinzers.com.
All right, guys, let's get into it, Mike. There was that moth again. You see that?
Yeah, he come flying out. He wants that beard.
He hid for the first 2 hours, and then now he's back. So here we go. Time for trivia of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody put on your thinking caps. Here we go. Mike, bored people at home. This is the question of the day. How well do you know your enemy? How well do you know your opponent? This is the Green Bay Packers week, the week of the cheesehead, if you will. Guys, question of the day. Here we go. Since 1967, the Super Bowl era, who leads the Pittsburgh and Green Bay series? Since the beginning of the Super Bowl era, 1967 till now, who leads the Green Bay-Pittsburgh series overall? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube. Question of the day, guys. Since 1967, beginning of the Super Bowl era, who leads the Pittsburgh and Green Bay series? Tortilla saying the Steelers on the board.
I'm agreeing with Tortilla. Taking the Steelers, baby.
All right. How many wins do you have the Steelers, Mike?
Oh, I have no idea.
Just take a guess.
How many times have they played?
I can't tell you. I could tell you this. They've played 37 overall.
Okay.
They played 37 overall ever.
I'm going to go 12.
All right, so the Steelers, 12 wins, and they've won more than the Packers in the Super Bowl era.
Wait, so there'll be 15 then.
Okay. So anyway.
Fuck it. I don't know. I'm just taking the Steelers one.
All right. So anyway, here we go. Since 1967, the Super Bowl era, who leads the Pittsburgh and Green Bay series overall? From back in the day when the Packers were good and we were terrible, Green Bay leads the series 20-17.
Ooh.
Overall, good Packers teams, bad Steelers teams. The Packers do lead 20-17. But the question is, who leads the series in the Super Bowl era? Mike says the Steelers. Tortilla says the Steelers. He's saying with 17 wins. Mike, the correct answer by the difference of 10-6 in the Super Bowl era. The Green Bay Packers have less wins against the Steelers.
Oh.
Overall, the Steelers 10, the Packers 6.
So I was close. I was close with my 12 original.
And you know they didn't win. The Steelers lost their first 9. They lost their first 9 matches, their first 9 games against the Packers ever. And then it was the 10th game that they ever played them that they got their first win. And again, as I said, Green Bay 20-17 through all the history, but in the Super Bowl era, the Steelers 10-6. So we'll take it.
Yeah, hell yeah, we'll take it.
Mike, anything as we start getting ready to wrap it up? You know what? Let me jump on for a couple more of these messages, Mike. I don't want to leave anybody out before we go. I'm going to start right here. Echelon says, do you guys give your picks for the upcoming game already, or did I miss it? We'll be doing that, as Mike said, on Thursday. We'll be moving forward as well. Tortilla says, I couldn't even get AI to generate a video of Ramsey locking up Chase. even AI couldn't do it, Mike. 6 fingers and all. No. Scott says Steelers need to fudge pack Green Bay to be considered legit. Anything else, and you look like a 500 team. I agree. Again, I think Green Bay's totally beatable. I think we beat Green Bay, guys. Let's see on that. Ramsey only good at tackling. Somber says Dan Moore Jr. still a third. Justin Fields still a fourth. Russell Wilson still a fifth. James Daniels, Dante Jackson, and Najee are still sixth. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Scott says, as bad as that loss was, if Steelers rebound to win this week, win the next 2 weeks, they vault back to the top seed in the AFC. They have to dig deep for themselves. And you know what? If you win these next 2 games, people start talking again.
Yeah.
You know, losing to the Bengals the way we lost to the Bengals, and what the Bengals were, just everything, guys, it didn't look good. So again, you're right. I think if you win these 2 games, if you're the Steelers, you're considered up there and a team that's just as much in it as anybody else. Tortilla saying Wisconsin. I like it. Wisconsin. Let me see, Mike. First of all, I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys were amazing as usual. They always make the board super interesting and exciting every day. Thank you to every single one of you on the terrible board. I also do want to say thank you to everybody at home listening, maybe on your earbuds, maybe you're at work, maybe you're at the gym, wherever you may be. Thank you too. Yes. If you haven't had a chance yet, swing by and check out any of our social media sites. Mike, we're all over the place on social media. You could go to Facebook. You could go to X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by and just hit the follow button. Keep up with what the Two Dumb Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. Mike, and even also, if you haven't had a chance yet as well, hit the like, sub, share, or leave a comment. I'm sorry, down below. What helps us out a lot here on YouTube. I do want to say thank you so much for all that anyway. And I do also want to say, if you haven't had a chance and you're getting ready for the big game this weekend, or you're just trying to get drunk to get to the weekend, our friends over at Duquesne Pilsner, Mike, once again over the weekend, they did certainly include us in their advertisements and their promotion. So I do want to say thank you to them and give them the love as well. So guys, get out and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner to at least, like I said, get you through the week, to get you to football. And Mike, really good beer. We always have it here on tap. Duquesne Pilsner, made right here in Pittsburgh. As it says right on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
What am I forgetting, Mike? Am I forgetting anything? Monday Night Football tonight, Tampa Bay at Detroit, 7 o'clock. Houston at Seattle, 10 o'clock. Tomorrow we will be revealing all the results for the picks from last week, guys. I hope to see everybody back tomorrow. We'll be here at our regular time to continue to get prepared for the Green Bay Packers, guys. The game of the week for the Steelers Sunday night here at Acrisure Stadium on Sunday. Throwback uniforms, throwback players, Mike, Aaron Rodgers, all kind of crazy storylines going into this. And Mike, this was even 2 weeks ago who I thought was going to be the preview of the Super Bowl. I don't know if I changed it, but again, I'm not feeling as comfortable and as confident as I was 2 weeks ago. Let's see if this defense can turn it around. Yeah. Let's see if the offense can still continue to go. If we come out and win somewhat impressively against Green Bay, I'm changed my tune again back to we're going all the way. But again, the Cincinnati game still not sitting well with me. We'll make up for it, though. Green Bay this week, guys. Indianapolis next week. Then out to California for the Chargers, and then back home for the Bengals, Mike. So 3 of the next 4 at on the North Shore. That's a good thing. We'll take it. Mike, what do you got, man?
I got once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. This is always fun. It's always a blast. Roger Jones said he will do it again. Next time Aaron Rodgers throws, he will jump on Aaron Rodgers' back.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Again, guys, tonight, Monday Night Football. Tomorrow, we'll be back at our regular time. We hope to see everybody then. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but you know what? That's always the case, guys. Oh, that's what I was going to say, Mike. Check this out. Penguins, 3, Sharks, nothing. Riverhounds, 3, Monterey Bay, nothing. Pitt, 30 to 13. A lot of 3s and O's. I don't know where Corey's at today.
Corey, we need you.
We need Corey for some conspiracy theory insight. So
decipher that, see if that's going to affect the Steelers going into a Sunday night game.
That's right. We thank you, Tortilla. Peace among world Yinzers. That's right. We appreciate that, Jamal, as well. Thank you, sir. Christophus, everybody. Thank you so much. Guys, great seeing everybody. Glad to have everybody back this morning. We'll see you guys tomorrow at our regular time. For Mike in the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.